You can't really go on the offensive right now.
That's correspondent Louis Martinez. President Trump's pick for Attorney General Todd Blanche has his confirmation in jeopardy once more as several Republican lawmakers threaten to vote no. Correspondent Catherine Faulders with more on what happens if Blanche doesn't have the requisite number of votes for confirmation.
If he doesn't have the support, which is hanging by a thread, Trump has signaled is that he will just keep him acting attorney general. He can do that, so not really much will change there. I guess the only thing that would change is that Todd Blanche would actually still be also the deputy attorney general, so it wouldn't allow Blanche to then put in a deputy under him. But for all intents and purposes, Blanche will still remain at the Justice Department.
Turns out that video of the upper stage of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket crashing into the moon was a fake.
The impact did occur. An 11-year-old rocket left over from a 2015 mission hit the lunar surface this week after being pushed there by solar activity and gravity. Elon Musk reposted what he said was a clip of that on his social media site X, and it was viewed over 5 million times. However, he followed up 40 minutes later by posting the video was AI generated. That post was only viewed 600,000 times. The original video was made by a far-right media company, which also admitted, but not until later, that the post wasn't real. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
WTIC News Time 2:04, checking traffic. Earlier crash on 91 northbound. The area of exits 21 and 22. Looks like the crash itself is cleared, but they're doing some emergency road maintenance as a result. So you've got the left lane closed there. Again, it's 91 north between 22 and 23, left lane. Otherwise, we're in fairly decent shape. Nothing out of the ordinary except the usual midday road work. So let's pivot to the WTIC Weather Center and check in with meteorologist Bob Cox.
A heat advisory in effect this afternoon and right into the day tomorrow. It's hot and very humid out there with dew points in the 70s. The high temperature headed toward 90. And the chance for a shower or thunderstorm in parts of the area, too, as we go through this afternoon into this evening. That chance for a shower storm continues into tonight, especially the first half of the night. It's a muggy night with patchy fog and lows in the 70s. Partly sunny, hot, and very humid again Friday, with the chance for shower thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon or evening. High near 90, heat index near 100 tomorrow afternoon. Muggy again Friday night, and it's still hot and humid Saturday, partly sunny with the chance for a shower or storm. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, 90 degrees right now in Hartford. Markets trending downward this Thursday so far. The Dow off 417 points. NASDAQ's down 8, S&P's down 10. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, Certified Financial Planner from Money Wisdom. Get the answers to your retirement questions at our free educational dinner workshop. Reserve your seat today to learn about different strategies to maximize your retirement income, ways to reduce your lifetime tax obligation, and much more. Text WORKSHOP to 800-705-1232. That's WORKSHOP to 800-705-1232.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Let's be real. With Trump in the White House, times have been tough. But in Connecticut, thankfully, we've had a governor who put his foot down and protected us from the chaos. When Donald Trump cut health coverage, Lamont capped insulin costs, canceled medical debt for working people, and restored the health care funding our families depend on. Now he's working towards universal health care. While ICE creates chaos nationwide, Governor Lamont's passed laws banning ICE from our schools and places of worship.
ICE, go home. We're keeping Connecticut safe without you.
And as Trump cut taxes for billionaires, Governor Lamont's cutting taxes for the middle class, with new plans to make sure big corporations paid their fair share.
And we're trying to make life a little less expensive for working families in the middle class.
With Trump in the White House, we need a governor with the experience and the backbone to fight back. That's Ned Lamont.
I'm Ned Lamont, candidate for governor, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ned for CT. Approved by Ned Lamont.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Reese on the radio, and August 14th is my birthday, and I want to spend it with you. So we're taking the show on the road for a special birthday broadcast. We'll be broadcasting live from Stadium 15 in Farmington, Connecticut from 2 to 6. Maybe there'll be an after party. Who knows? So make plans to hang out, listen to the show, have some food, some drinks, and help me celebrate my birthday. It's the 14th at 15. Stadium 15 in Farmington from 2 to 6 on Friday, August the 14th. Hope to see you there.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
For older couples, retirement is a team sport.
You really need to have a heart-to-heart with your significant other and agree on what you're spending, what are your regular spending, what are the extras.
Financial planner Sherry Greco-Rica says you need to work out a financial plan with your spouse and stick to it.
Review it. Make sure you're spending in line with what the plan was.
The plan must change with the times. I'm Rob Hart.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! Hey now! What's going on, all my scallywags? Hello, you nutmeggers! Conversationalists all across the fruited plain! And the future haters, because the haters are already here. Future haters. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today as I prepare for today's program, which I do diligent for you as early as 5:30 when I hit the gym. Okay, 6 o'clock when I hit the gym. 6 o'clock, hit the gym, start dissecting all the stuff that happened overnight. Get ready, go to my computer when I get from the gym. No, I do not go straight to the shower. The wife is sleeping. And I live in a shoebox, so I can't disturb her. If she's sleeping when I get back from the gym, I don't even go into the bedroom because that's where the bathroom is. So if I were to go in there, I got to creep in, and for some odd reason, I got to get WD-40 because our bedroom door has a little creak in it. It drives me nuts. Anyway, so I don't bother her. I sit there at my computer, and I gather all of my paperwork. Then Roseanne will walk out the door, let me know that she's awake. How does she know? Or how I should say, what wakes her up every morning? The smell of hot coffee. That's right. The brewing of Folgers Crystals. Okay, it's not Folgers Crystals, but nonetheless, that coffee brewing that wakes her up. As soon as she smells it, she wakes up in the morning like this, like her nose is up in the air. Is that fresh brewed? Yes, it is. And she'll come out into the living room where I'm sitting at my desk. As soon as she peeks her head out the door, I know what my job is. Stop what you're doing. Get that woman a cup of coffee. And I do. I get right up, and I said, go back to bed. I've got your coffee. I go get her coffee, and I get her ready for her day of lounging for the rest of the day. What would you like, dear? Crumpet, bagel, croissant, maybe. And then after she's taken care of, I get back. I said, now I wish I was kidding here, folks. I'm not. I'm telling you the truth. She has me trained well. Anyway. And then I continue on with my day, and I get a whole bunch of papers here. I wish I could move the cameras over here. This desk is filled with papers. Remember when Russ used to call it my stack of stuff, he used to refer to it as. So I will refer to it as a stack of stuff. Just in keeping with my mentor and my idol, Rush Limbaugh. So I got a lot of stuff to go over. And unfortunately, you know the old saying. I think Woody Allen had a sort of variation of this line much before I did. But when I grew up, the saying was, if you want to make God laugh, make plans. It's also the title of my forthcoming book. And Sam the man on the street, who wanted to show up today before I started to sit around, but I can't have people in the studio when I'm doing my process. It distracts me and I can't focus. I'm thinking about things, monologues, and all that stuff. He walks in and he hands me 2 sheets of paper. Right here. These 2 pieces of paper. To which I will get into the next half hour. I needed it on print. I didn't want to say it. I needed it in print, and I have it. It is an official document, so it cannot be disputed. I'll talk about that later. But before I get into it, I'm going to say to the news media, and those of you who listen to this program in the news media, you know who you are. Stephanie Thomas needs to answer some questions. Because I am here to tell you that the Secretary of the State is a liar. And I have verified evidence that she is a liar. In her capacity, she took to the airwaves and she made claims that are provably untrue. And she must defend them. The governor made statements that are untrue in his official capacity. He lied about an innocent woman while chastising the news media about misinformation. Both of those individuals, the governor and the Secretary of the State, openly and provably lied to the citizens of Connecticut, and they must answer for it. And we will get to that later. Told you I was going to get the documents. I have them now. You're not going to pull a fast one over me. The rest of you guys out there in the news media, you can play nice all you want. You can ignore these facts. But if you believe that our elected officials should lie to us, should take to the airwaves, use their position, their power, their prestige to lie to you and have no accountability, I guess there's nothing left to say about you folks. Maybe I am. Maybe I got to be the guy. So I'll be the guy. What I can't seem to understand, why the governor of this great state can't seem to get it together. I don't understand how the governor of this great state makes nonsensical statements and gives nonsensical answers. I can't seem to get it. Let me find this. Did any of you listen to the governor on Brian Shackman's show, Brian and Company, this morning? Did any of you? I know many of you did. You were texting me all about it. Mark Walsh from Mark Walsh Report sent me a text of it and an audio piece of it. Brian Shackman was asking the governor, which, by the way, this answer should give everybody pause. He was asking the governor about this go-round in re-election, whether or not he is having any new experiences, to which the governor goes off on a tear about stuff that had nothing to do with the question. Let's see if we can find it here. Where is the governor? There he is. He says this about new experiences. Where's the...
I'll tell you, as governor...
Is that... Oh, there, look at that. I completely did...
I'll tell you, as governor, everybody has a legitimate point of view. You know, maybe in campaigns you make a lot of promises you don't really mean, but generally speaking, when I'm in the legislative building, people come into my office all the time. We don't always agree. Often we don't. But we go back and forth. You give people a little respect. You listen to them, and they have a point of view. Sometimes you can come to a way to get yes. Sometimes you have to make a compromise. Sometimes you don't. But I think one thing I've learned is listen. Open door, big table. I came in saying that, and I mean it.
Again, new experiences. He waits until the end to address those new experiences, but inexplicably says this.
I'll tell you, as governor, everybody has a legitimate point of view. You know, maybe in campaigns you make a lot of promises you don't really mean, but generally speaking, when I'm in the legislative building, people come into my office all the time. We don't always agree. Often we don't. But we go back and forth. You give people a little respect. You listen to them, and they have a point of view.
Does he not understand the question? Did he not understand the question? Everybody has a legitimate point of view. What does that have to do with a question about new experiences? Maybe in campaigns you make a lot of promises you don't really mean. Is he saying the quiet part out loud? Did the governor just admit that during the campaign he makes promises that you can't keep? Who is he talking about? He's in a campaign.
I'll tell you, as governor, everybody has a legitimate point of view. You know, maybe in campaigns you make a lot of promises you don't really mean, but generally speaking, when I'm in the legislative building, people come into my office all the time. We don't always agree. Often we don't. But we go back and forth. You give people a little respect. You listen to them, and they have a point of view.
I know Josh Elliott is probably saying to himself, I'm losing to this guy. What am I missing here, folks? Am I missing something? Where this guy's a shoo-in? That's what you're telling me, folks? That's what this guy is? He's a shoo-in? All of the ducks are in a row? This guy's playing with a full deck? This guy knows the questions, knows the issues. We should not be concerned about his age or cognitive decline in any way. He was on a phone call with a staff probably surrounding him in the most comfortable position wherever he was and barely understood the question and starts going off about making promises you can't keep and people having a point of view. Very basic responses. Do people like blue crayons versus yellow crayons? What would it have mattered? Whatever Brian was asking him didn't mean anything to this guy. You tell me that, again, is there anything? And Brian's asking a very basic question. This third go-round, anything new you're learning? Anything you're learning about your campaign? Maybe even yourself?
I'll tell you, as governor, everybody has a legitimate point of view. You know, maybe in campaigns you make a lot of promises you don't really mean, but generally speaking, when I'm in the legislative building, people come into my office all the time. We don't always agree. Often we don't. But we go back and forth. You give people a little respect. You listen to them, and they have a point of view. Sometimes you can come to a way to get yes. Sometimes you have to make a compromise. Sometimes you don't. But I think that one thing I've learned is listen. Open door, big table. I came in saying that, and I mean it.
He came in saying the same thing that he says that he learned. Okay. All right. I don't know, folks. I don't know. This is their guy. Maybe, you know what? Maybe the truth is what they're telling me behind the scenes is true. Nobody wants this guy to run for re-election. They are praying that Elliott beats him. They are praying. At least in the primary, so we can just get to the inauguration of Ryan Fauci. I'm sorry, I may be, but nobody wants to go through this another 4 years. Not with this guy. Just no way. I was just talking to someone, was it earlier today? And not that social media is ever the temperature of these things, but they are somewhat of a barometer. Lamont's support is almost infinitesimal. There are not people raving about his work in the last 8 years. There are not people who are jumping out of a window to support him or showing it. It is overwhelmingly anti-Lamont this go-round. As I said to you weeks ago, he has overstayed his welcome, and he's the only one who hasn't realized it yet. He is not well liked. He is not well received. His arrogance shines through. His dismissive nature when asked tough questions. You can watch that exchange he has with me when the questions got tough. Enough. Like he could tell somebody to stop asking. Enough. Enough. Don't speak to me. Enough. Dispatch him. Who is this Negro asking me questions? Enough. Dispatch him. Remove him from my presence. The weird part is that he keeps asking like he doesn't know who I am. I go to his press conferences all the time. He doesn't even refer to me by name. He calls me sir, like it's the first time he's ever met me. I really don't think he knows who I am. In my bottom of my heart, I really don't think he knows who I am. I think every time I come up to him, I think he sees me and he just goes, hi. How are you? Like I've just showed up for the first time. Well, you seem pleasant. And his team, they can't help themselves. When they hear it getting rough and they know he's in trouble, any other questions? Anyone? And then the other guys, Cyrus is in the back room. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Sorry, buddy, you've been beaten. Anyway, when we come back, stick around. Don't go anywhere. Maybe go get a beverage. But when we come back, Stephanie Thomas. I don't know, news media, you going to ask her? Because she flat out lied. We have verified truth, verified proof that she's a liar. And we'll play the video, too. Stand by. It's Reese on the radio.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's. With refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba. To crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? 6 all-new drinks are here. Now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine.
Are you a commercial building owner in southern New England? Are you frustrated with your roof services? Contact Eagle Rivet Roof Service today. Our skilled technicians provide tailored roof repair and maintenance programs to maximize your building's lifespan. With 24/7 emergency response and comprehensive service options, we are Greater New England's trusted commercial roofing provider. Visit EagleRivet.com for a complimentary inspection or call 860-953-1231. Protect your investment with Eagle Rivet.
Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40 and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 2:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Bob Cox has the forecast details coming up. A 16-year-old was killed on train tracks in Norwalk Wednesday. Police say the teen and two others were on the tracks when he was struck by a Metro North train from Danbury. No one on the train was injured. In Hartford, police are looking for suspects in the city's latest homicide. They say 20-year-old Richard Williams was found shot multiple times in a car on North Canaan Street. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Another food recall to report.
Peppers from a farm in Mexico have been linked to a salmonella outbreak. The CDC says the grower is in Sinaloa, Mexico, and the chili peppers were moved into the U.S. by Coast Citrus distributors. The company has recalled the peppers and is notifying customers, including major Mexican food chains. At least 35 people in 27 states became sick. Most cases are in Minnesota and Colorado. Chipotle and Qdoba have removed jalapenos from their restaurants. The FDA is investigating whether any of the jalapenos went to grocery stores. Within hours or days of being exposed to salmonella, infected people can suffer from diarrhea, fever, and stomach cramps. It usually lasts 4 to 7 days, and most people recover without treatment. I'm Ed Donahue.
Senate committee has voted along party lines to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress over his refusal to answer questions at a hearing regarding his handling of the COVID pandemic. The vote today sets up a referral to the Department of Justice for potential investigation over whether the country's longtime top infectious disease official properly exercised his constitutional rights. WTIC News Time 2:32. Bob Cox has our forecast.
A heat advisory in effect this afternoon and right into the day tomorrow. It's hot and very humid out there with dew points in the 70s. The high temperature headed toward 90, and the chance for a shower or thunderstorm in parts of the area too as we go through this afternoon into this evening. That chance for a shower storm continues into tonight, especially the first half of the night. It's a muggy night with patchy fog and lows in the 70s. Partly sunny, hot, and very humid again Friday with the chance for shower thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon or evening. High near 90, heat index near 100 tomorrow afternoon. Muggy again Friday night, and it's still hot and humid Saturday, partly sunny with the chance for a shower or storm. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
Markets rather mixed so far today. The Dow's down 399, NASDAQ's up 9, S&P is down 5. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, I'm Tom Tierney, owner of the Green Cremation, Connecticut's only water cremation facility. Our process uses a gentle, water-based alternative to flame, with no smoke, no fire, and no harmful emissions. It uses up to 90% less energy than traditional cremation and produces zero air pollution. We're proud to offer families a compassionate, earth-friendly way to honor a loved one. Visit thegreencremation.com to learn more or pre-plan today. Visit thegreencremation.com.
Fire up the grill, leave the slider open, and gather on the patio. Summer is for outdoor cooking. We'll handle the kitchen inside. At Dean Cabinetry, we design kitchens that are built around how you live every day. So when you step back in this fall, everything looks and flows just right. Because summer doesn't last forever, but a great kitchen does. Dean Cabinetry, your kitchen cabinet partners from start to finish.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
Brian Jackman here for CertaPro Painters. You know, I have a really high bar for people working on my home, and that's why I am so proud to talk about CertaPro Painters. First of all, the process is worry-free. They give you this free estimate. They come in, they communicate with you, they're professional, and I'm not just talking with the communication, I'm talking with the actual painting. They got our kitchen done so well, and that's why I'm telling you, you should give it a try. If you have any work needed, either inside or outside your house, they have over 70,000 five-star reviews. That's CertaPro with a C. CertaPro.com to book your free estimate.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Hartford, we've got a problem. Home care is in crisis and there aren't enough caregivers to meet the demand. So if you've got a loved one with Medicaid or is eligible who needs care, don't wait. Freedom Care will help you get care at home from someone you already trust. A family member who lives with you and not your legal spouse can get paid to help with everyday needs like meals, medication, bathing, and mobility. If you have Medicaid, it's 100% free to you. No waiting lists, just real care from your people right now. Freedom Care handles it all, training, payroll, and support, so you can stay safe and comfortable at home. And your caregiver gets paid guaranteed, with 97% satisfaction and over 150 million hours of care delivered. Hartford families are already making the switch to care at home. Take care of your own and get paid with Freedom Care. Call 860-530-5203. That's 860-530-5203. Call now. 860-530-5203. 860-530-5203.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
Hey, there we go. Hey, we're back. Reese on the radio. here on WTIC. Today's T-shirt brought to you by Contractor and Equipment. Don't forget, if you ever want to send a T-shirt, send myself a large one. Make sure you send Roland in there a 2X for him for his swollen arms. Yeah, I think he actually needs the 2X because, you know, it's the only way the T-shirt will get around his ego. That's just me. Just saying. Yes, the guns. Yes, okay, sure. Hey, what's up, Jules? Hello, all the scallywags out there, and thank you, Fred. Which he said Fred was quite impressed with that line when I said that. When I said, "Who is this Negro asking me questions?" I always imagine Lamont is thinking that. She's like, "Who is this?" Stephanie Thomas. I hear a lot of people, especially sister girls out there. They play that line. Call me a liar one more time. Johanna Hayes did that recently. Say, call me a liar one more time. I looked her square in the face. That's like, I got to put a battery on the back of some of these white women. Look in her face and tell her she's a liar. She ain't going to do nothing. Say it to her. She's trying to see whether or not she could check you. Look her right in the face and said, "I'm sorry, ma'am. Did you miss? Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't say it in a language you can understand. You's a liar." Do you understand that, sister girl? That's what I'd have said. These people are straight up liars. But you ain't got to take my word for it. Listen to Stephanie Thomas.
Good evening. An innocent New Britain, Connecticut woman, innocent, has been receiving death threats.
That's the Secretary of State, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Secretary of the State, Stephanie Thomas.
Good evening. An innocent New Britain, Connecticut woman, innocent, has been receiving death threats after being identified as an undocumented immigrant connected to a fatal crash and being accused of illegally registering to vote. Now, were these allegations made after a thorough review of the case by investigators, by a court of law? No. It was a Facebook post. You heard me, a Facebook post.
Stephanie Thomas is a liar. Stone cold liar. As is Governor Lamont and his team.
Governor, with regards to the Ramirez case, we have what is many are calling a mistaken identity, 2 women with the same name and the birth dates, which caused a lot of confusion and some, as you called it, misreporting on the woman who's charged in the fatal death of a police officer and a mother of 3 with an innocent woman living in New Britain. Your statement that was released, I think, a day ago, says that the innocent woman is receiving death threats. Can you tell me what the nature of those threats were?
No, you got to check with the police on that.
Okay, well, it was your statement. I'm trying to figure out do you know the nature of those threats?
No, I said please check with the police on that.
Okay, so your statement was incomplete? I'm not understanding.
No, I just said please check with the police. You said what is the exact nature of those threats? I said please check with the police on that.
And where did you get the information that the young lady was being threatened?
From my team.
Governor Lamont, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the governor of the state, the secretary of the state, in their official capacities, saying that the innocent Melissa Ramirez of New Britain was receiving death threats. In my hand. From the New Britain Police Department, report number 26000050684. This report, original date August 1st of 2026. Date of report August 4th, 2026. Which would make it a 3-day investigation, reads as follows. On August 4th, 2026, is approximately 5:30, Officer Brojek attempted to follow up on this investigation. I was able to speak to Dan Haar of Hearst Media, who stated while interviewing Melissa, she never made any comments regarding receiving death threats or being harassed. Dan Haar stated he did not tell Adam 12 that Melissa was receiving any death threats and is unsure where those claims came from. Dan, let me refresh your memory. Dan Haar, Connecticut Insider and Hearst Media, interviewed the New Britain woman who described the situation as stressful and scary because her address and voting records were circulating. This was later referenced in the context of the threat narrative, but was not her claiming actual death threats because Dan Haar's reporting was based upon the Secretary of State. Just so we get that clear. In an attempt to find the whereabouts of Melissa Ramirez, they contacted a cousin of Melissa Ramirez to find out where she may reside, and contacted a cousin of Melissa Ramirez, who gave them a phone number, to which the officers went to a location. We'll keep that quiet. For those of you who wish to find out, you go look up the report yourself. A location in New Britain where, official police statement here, where we were able to make contact with Melissa, who was positively identified via her Connecticut driver's license. They went on. Melissa stated that she has not been receiving any death threats, nor is being harassed. Melissa stated that she had spoken to some media and told them that she was being harassed by journalists who kept calling. Melissa stated that she feels safe and was advised to contact the New Britain Police Department if she does begin receiving any threats.
Good evening. An innocent New Britain, Connecticut woman, innocent, has been receiving death threats.
So why lie? This whole thing was about misinformation, right? That's what all of this was about. The reason why Stephanie Thomas came to that podium and gave that speech in her official capacity with the seal of the Secretary of the State behind her, used on the official Secretary of the State Facebook page, making a false, misleading claim about a person who apparently she's never spoken to. Nobody thinks that that's something worth asking? Not anybody in the media? No one thinks so? Can I tell you what it's about? I'll help you. Earlier today on Brian and Company, Brian asked the governor a simple question. And the question is very valid. Why not be transparent when it comes to voter rolls? Here's Lamont's response.
Why wouldn't we just audit ourselves so we could say, here, look, these are anomalies, and that's that. I don't know why there's not more transparency on this particular issue.
I don't think of that. I mean, we have paper ballots. We double-check. You have a Republican and a Democrat registrar right there overseeing these elections. I really don't like people casting aspersions on our elections. It really undermines our democracy. I think here in Connecticut, we do it very well. If there's an anomaly, like you said, we go after them. If you find somebody doing something at a ballot box, you know how you found them? Because you put a camera at that ballot box. We're able to catch these people and hold them accountable. don't let people tell you our democracy is so fatally flawed. I think we're doing pretty well. I want people to vote and know their vote makes a difference.
That's the problem. And it's real simple, folks. That's the problem. You see, Stephanie Thomas, the governor, William Tong, Susan Bicewicz, and every one of their cohorts, they have a problem with you questioning the integrity of the election in Connecticut. When it was found out that Seo Sekunjanen was on the voter roll, they were embarrassed by that. But instead of just clearing up the records, because it didn't happen on their watch, I mean, it was from 2018. It had nothing to do with them. But it flew right in the face of everything they were trying to tell everyone. They were embarrassed because it happened right after the fact. What do you mean somebody's on the voter rolls that's here illegally, that doesn't have a green card? It totally flies in the face of everything that we just said. So instead of saying, okay, we'll audit it, no, they ran for cover. And then when we see this driver's license end up inside of a warrant that kills 2 people, they go into damage control and they start spreading lies.
Good evening. An innocent New Britain, Connecticut woman, innocent, has been receiving death threats.
Who told her that? Who told her that? Did they even speak to Melissa Ramirez? Have they ever? Who was the person from the Secretary of the State's office who communicated with her? How is this possible, folks? That both the governor and the Secretary of the State made a claim that is beyond a shadow of a doubt false. We have an official police report. Are they now going to tell us that this Stephanie Ramirez is lying on them? We'll see. We'll be back. It's Reese on the radio.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
You cannot trust these people, folks. You cannot. And I know you always knew it. No one reported. The rest of you guys were always sitting by yourselves, maybe hashing it out on Facebook and all that other good stuff. Saying, look at them, they're lying to us. Look at them, blah, blah, blah. But now we caught them red-handed. Now it's there. So, what do? Easy. I got you covered. You spread the word. Now, later on today, I'll probably get home. I'll put together a video. You guys have already been doing it. I want to applaud you for doing it. If you are not following Reese on the radio online, either X or on Facebook, do it now. Let me explain to you why. It's really, really simple. And this is the reason why. And Fred in Middletown and I have talked about this before. Right? So, again, the whole, friend Reese on the radio on Facebook. You know what? No. I hate that. I hate that stuff. It's corny. It's like being a teenager. You guys have gotten the word out with this, and everyone is now sharing it. It is reaching people in places I never thought it would reach. And the way that people are talking about it excites the hell out of me. Because there are people who cannot defend the indefensible. That's what it's about. So I'm looking at my Reese on the radio page, and like every minute, it is 17 people just followed you. Like this minute. I looked at it last night, stepped away from my phone, said 100 people are now following you. I'm like, oh, okay. But it's nice to be followed. That's all the way. I don't want to be followed. I want the stuff to be shared. Because the objective is, remember what our mission is here, right? If the mainstream news media isn't going to cover it, you can. You guys are the newsies, if you will, right? You are the paper boy and the paper girl. You got to take those clips and you have got to spread them massively. Make sure that everybody knows. Make sure they're inundated with them. So they see these people for exactly who they are. And I'm going to put that video up. I'm going to put that last monologue up to show Stephanie saying exactly that and backing it up with the official document, with the official information from the woman that they are telling us is receiving death threats, that they are lying about. And again, why lie? To discredit the Connecticut Sentinel? To discredit Blue Lives Matter? In a large way, in a meaningful way, isn't Stephanie Thomas punching down? Why? Again, they were so desperate to go after the credibility of the Sentinel that she lied on them and lied on the woman that she claims that she's trying to protect.
Good evening. An innocent New Britain, Connecticut woman, innocent, has been receiving death threats after being identified as an undocumented immigrant connected to a fatal crash and being accused of illegally registering to vote. Now, were these allegations made after a thorough review of the case by investigators, by a court of law? No. It was a Facebook post. You heard me, a Facebook post.
Making all of those proclamations about something that was an absolute lie, and lying about who's responsible for the misrepresentation of the story. And that was the Danbury police who made all of this possible, who they are absolutely twisting themselves into a pretzel to not say. They know it. We know it. We have the evidence of it. None of them have denied it. And now they're making up death threat stories. Why? Why? Because it is effective. Whatever happened here was enough to damage their credibility, and they are trying to restore it with lies. They are so concerned that people would believe that the voting, that the ability to vote in this state is free and fair. They were so concerned about people's perception of Connecticut and its voter rolls that they made up a lie about a woman clearly they did not even talk to. They would go to their official podium and release official statements claiming that a woman was receiving death threats. In a story they said started with misinformation. And who echoed said misinformation? Let's look. Hearst Connecticut Media, the News Times, Connecticut Mirror, the Connecticut News Junkie, Dan Haar. They were all repeating what Stephanie Thomas said. Doing the reporting they were asking her to do. Hey, look over here. We know where the truth is. And it was a lie.
Good evening. An innocent New Britain, Connecticut woman, innocent, has been receiving death threats.
I want an investigation. Because it wasn't even worth lying about. Now it is. Now it is. Because how could you not ask? We have to know now. We'll be back. It's Reese on the radio.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 3 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We have, we'll call it partly cloudy right now. Temperature is 91. We'll see the temperatures in the low 90s, the heat and humidity. In fact, the heat advisory up until tomorrow. And the forecast details are coming up. Man is dead after he was found shot Wednesday night in Hartford. A little after 10, officers were dispatched to an area near 169 North Canaan Street to investigate a shot spotter activation. The victim, 20-year-old Richard Williams, was found unresponsive in a vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds. Williams was pronounced dead at the scene. That investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information is being asked to get in touch with Hartford police. The Senate Homeland Security Committee has voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. This after he took the fifth over 100 times in an appearance before the committee last week to discuss the COVID response.
The normal process is it would then send that resolution to the Senate for a full Senate vote, but that would require a 60-vote threshold to clear, and Chairman Paul knows that is very unlikely to get out of the Senate. It would require Democratic votes, and so what he's mused about possibly doing is just forwarding this contempt resolution right on to the Department of Justice, circumventing that Senate vote.
Connecticut Children's in Hartford has reached an agreement with the Justice Department and will no longer provide gender-affirming care to minors. The agreement includes a commitment from the hospital that it will not provide puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones to children and adolescents. In addition, the DOJ says the agreement calls for Connecticut Children's to pay $500,000 to what it calls those former patients, quote, living with the harmful consequences of gender-affirming care. It follows similar agreements with Texas Children's Hospital and the Cleveland Clinic Foundation. Primary race for governor is less than a week away, 5 days away, actually. The early voting ends on Sunday. The election itself is next Tuesday. Governor Lamont, seeking a third term, says he's able to work with both sides on issues that don't necessarily have backing from all degrees of Democrats.
Generally speaking, when I'm in the legislative building, people come into my office all the time. We don't always agree. Often we don't. But we go back and forth. You give people a little respect. You listen to them. And they have a point of view.
Challenger State Representative Josh Elliott says he's not doing enough, particularly that is the governor, when it comes to progressive plans to tax the wealthy.
It's maybe just one piece of legislation. It's maybe one bit of bonding for a town. But then we're stuck with this governor for the next 4 years, and we don't actually move forward on a lot bigger things, the things that the vast majority of the state would like to see.
Both men were guests on the WTIC morning show, Brian and Company. Teenager is dead after he was struck by a Metro North train in Norwalk Wednesday night. The train was headed to Norwalk from Danbury at the time of the accident around 8 p.m. The victim was rushed to Norwalk Hospital, where he was pronounced dead about an hour later. Police say there were a total of 3 people on the tracks at the time that shouldn't have been. They were detained by police. None of the 25 passengers on the train was injured. White House is disputing reports that the war in Iran is leading to a shortage of air defense missiles. ABC News contributor and former Deputy Assistant Defense Secretary Mick Mulroy says,
we should be concerned. If the reports are correct, we have some, like the THAAD, that are down 80%. And that is significant in that not just our forces rely on these for defensive purposes, but so do our allies and partners in the region.
Meantime, the Pentagon says a technical error led to a change in how it was classifying casualties in Iran. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth, herself a combat veteran, is introducing a bill to prohibit these changes. She says the facts are important.
There is different statuses for how our service members are treated for their wounds and compensated if they are wounded or killed in a combat operation as opposed to a non-combat injury or death.
WTIC News Time, 3:04. A couple of issues out here on the roads. Nothing in the greater Hartford area. Down in Wallingford, they've got a tractor-trailer crash southbound on 91. That's between exits 17 and 15. It's got 2 right lanes closed, so there might be some backup with that. Down in Groton, it looks like a crash on 95 south between exits 89 and 88. That's got the left lane blocked. Melissa Constanzer has the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
Partly cloudy for the rest of today, but the story is the heat and the humidity as we've made it to the 90s across much of the area. But the story continues with showers and thunderstorms mixing in right through this evening. Watch out for those. Then we're partly cloudy tonight as we hit a low of 73. Tomorrow, still very humid, sun and clouds for us, a high of 89 degrees. But yet again, we have the chance for thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. These storms can bring heavy rainfall that could lead to flooding downpours as well as locally damaging wind gusts. They'll die down tomorrow night, and then it becomes partly cloudy, still sticky with a low of 73. Saturday starts our weekend with some sunshine. And then watch out, there's still some afternoon thunderstorms, 1 or 2 of them in a spot, as we hit a high of 89 degrees. Sunday, we'll finish our weekend mostly sunny and hot with a high near 90. On Monday, we're partly sunny, still very warm and humid, and those thunderstorms, they still have a chance to be out there with a high of 89. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, we're at 91 right now, partly sunny in Hartford. Dow's down 413 points. The NASDAQ is up 6 points and the S&P's down 5. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Life takes unexpected turns, doesn't it? Divorce, the loss of a loved one, a personal injury, losing your job. Suddenly you're searching for someone new you can trust to guide you through. But what if you didn't have to start over? What if your legal team already understood you? At BPS Lawyers, we're more than just lawyers. We're a full-service law firm that's been part of this community since 1977. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Visit bpslawyers.com or call 860-CALL-BPS. Nick Painderis is responsible for the content of this ad.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Reese on the radio, and August 14th is my birthday, and I want to spend it with you. So we're taking the show on the road for a special birthday broadcast. We'll be broadcasting live from Stadium 15 in Farmington, Connecticut from 2 to 6. Maybe there'll be an after party. Who knows? So make plans to hang out, listen to the show, have some food, some drinks, and help me celebrate my birthday. It's the 14th at 15. Stadium 15 in Farmington from 2 to 6 on Friday, August the 14th. Hope to see you there.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
All right, what's going on? We are back. Reese on the radio is here. I haven't talked about this guy in a while, but he brought himself back out in the news.
Hey, it's Duffman. Duffman. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Duffman. He's back. Did you see this story? Because I guess he's running around now concerned about flock cameras.
And just want you to know, State Senator James Roney and I from Milford sent out a press release today asking municipalities across the state of Connecticut to put a pause on automatic license plate readers. One of the brands of that is Flock. We also asked in a letter to the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection to ask municipalities how many each of them have and where they are. Norwalk has 11, but there are some communities across the state of Connecticut that has 60, 70, 80, or 100 of them. And I think people are really feeling upset by the fact that that when they walk out of the house, they feel like they're being watched until the moment they walk back in the house again. And there's just a lot of anger out there. We wrote a law this past legislative session that was a really strong law, and I think the strongest in the country, but technology is moving so quickly, and these things are just like popping up like dandelions in the springtime. So we've got to get a handle on this. We want to get more information. We want to do some thoughtful things and build upon what we did already. So that's why we sent out the press release and why we sent out the letter. So anyway, just want to keep you updated and keep you posted if you have any questions. Thanks, bye.
So Bob Duff is now saying he's concerned. He and his cohorts are concerned about flock cameras. But they weren't concerned in the beginning. They were only concerned about one thing. Anybody want to take a wild guess on what that was? Because it's on the record. He even mentions it. Yeah, in the beginning, we wrote this legislation and what was it about? What was it about? What were the biggest concern about the flock cameras? Yes, surveil everybody else. Just not the illegals. Yeah, protect those illegals. We're going to pass legislation. Don't share no information about the illegals here. That's what they cared about. That's all they cared about. They weren't listening to you. They didn't care about your concerns, and your concerns were there. They didn't care. Can I tell you why I know they didn't care? It's because this is how Connecticut governs. Just ask Luke Bronin.
So you do the bidding of the people you represent, yes?
Oh, no, I think that people who are elected to office have a responsibility to do the right thing as they see it.
Wait a minute.
No.
What's the word representative in front of this title for?
We don't govern by referendum. We don't put every question out for a straw poll.
Yeah. They don't put every question out for a straw poll. They govern on how they think they should govern you. That's them. That's who they are. That's the reason why you can't have a supermajority, folks. Because those folks will get down to Hartford and they go, hey, what do you feel like today, John? I don't know. I feel like, taking people's guns today. Why not? Draft a law. You know, there's some people in town who may not be happy with that, but I mean, but so what? What are we going to do? Hold a poll? Are we going to have a referendum? I thought they elected us to do what we thought they needed. I thought we saw what was fit. It's what they told us. Come on, Luke Bronin is a former mayor of a big city, the Queen City.
So you do the bidding of the people you represent, yes?
Oh, no, I think that people who are elected to office have a responsibility to do the right thing as they see it.
Isn't that wild? Flock cameras did not appear by magic. Local police departments and town governments operating under a Democratic majority legislature and governor that control the broader policy environment installed them over several years. There was no statewide inventory. There was no aggressive early regulation of the national data sharing network. The first serious statewide rules arrived only after journalists documented thousands of immigration-related searches of Connecticut data. That's not leadership, folks. Duff himself admitted in May that private retailers using the same cameras and sharing data with law enforcement wasn't something we thought about. When the 2026 bill was negotiated, the majority party wrote that the bill that closed one door, out-of-state ICE-related searches, while the cameras kept multiplying on public roads and in-store parking lots. Now the same leaders who passed the strong law are asking for a voluntary pause because the public is angry about being tracked. They didn't care about you. The only thing they cared about was illegals getting tracked. Now it's a problem. Must be an election year. Ain't that interesting? But like I said, there's a reason why I asked the question.
So you do the bidding of the people you represent, yes?
Oh, no, I think that people who are elected to office have a responsibility to do the right thing as they see it.
Wait a minute.
No.
What's the word representative in front of this title for?
We don't govern by referendum. We don't put every question out for a straw poll.
Why would they? Nobody cares what you think. They don't. This is the flock camera thing, and I tell people this all the time, is these so-called political hacks who think they know everything. Tell them all the time, you need to start focusing on the things that both sides of the aisle care about. Surveillance is a big one. There used to be a time, I don't know if anybody remembers this, there used to be a time where liberals used to say, and I cannot believe they said it, well, if you didn't do anything wrong, what are you worried? What are you worried about? Do you want to know when that changed? Political activism. When the multimillionaires like the George Soroses of the world started funding their activities, and they were running around burning establishments, breaking windows, then it was, surveillance may be a problem. Then it was a problem. Before it was, if you're not doing anything wrong, why be afraid? Now they're doing something wrong. We're afraid now. The police state. Now they're concerned about it. It's interesting. Interesting place to be. Anyway. Speaking of both sides of the aisle. Speaking of really speaking to both sides of the aisle. So there was a vote in the Senate to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt. Whether or not he will face any criminal charges remains to be seen. Many would hope. But what I've been seeing from a lot of people communicating with me is that the people on the left, or people on the left, do not believe that Fauci should face any crimes or any retribution after what was done. So I want to appeal to a few people. I came up with a list of things that I think reach the level of criminality. And what I mean by that is what was done to you that I think that you and I, left and right, can agree on. So let me see. Let's go through a couple of these. Let's try this one. Mask guidance that started as no reason and then flipped hard. In March of 2020 on 60 Minutes, Fauci said there was no reason to be walking around with a mask. Private emails from February of 2020, that same year and a month before, show the same view. Masks were mainly for the infected as source control, and drugstore masks were not very effective against the virus. He later became one of the strongest public advocates for universal masking. The PPE shortage explanation was offered after the fact. The early messaging still created confusion and later cynicism when rules tightened. Science evolves, that's fine. Treat the initial guidance as settled truth, then reversing without clear humility about the earlier error, damaged credibility. Reasonable people across the aisle live through the whiplash. Now, I always say I like a personal experience, kind of anecdotal, to give you a point, to make a point. I'm walking into one of these really, really trashy 5 and dime stores. I'm not going to say which one it was, but whatever it was trash. I went there to go grab a lighter. Was I smoking at the time? I think I was still smoking at the time. So I go in there to get a lighter, and I'm not wearing a mask, and I'm not getting vaccinated, and I'm telling everybody, now you have COVID-20. Anyway, I'm walking around, and I'm walking into these trash 5 and dime stores, and this short black woman who's wearing a mask walks out the door as I'm walking in. And as I walk in, she walks out, shrugging her shoulders and maneuvering around like I had the cooties. You know, like if somebody has the cooties when you were a kid, and they're like, ooh. They're scrunching up their body as they move around you. And I watched her as she did this. And it's insulting to you, like when somebody treats you like you're an infected person. So I'm looking at her and I'm going, you just came out of that dirty store. What are you? Have you seen this store? As she walks up the door, I was like, have you seen this store? This place is filthy as hell. What are you? You don't even know me. You walked into this store on your own. That's how horrible these people were. Yeah, they were treating people like this. I told you about the time I went to a client's home. The woman looked me right in the face and asked me if I had been vaccinated. To which I asked, have you ever had an abortion? Yeah. Okay, if that's not enough, how about this one? The 6-foot rule. Huh? When you were running around telling your friends and family 6 feet, even strangers, 6 foot, 6 feet. Remember that? Under oath in 2024's congressional testimony, Fauci said the 6-foot social distancing guideline sort of just appeared. It was an empiric decision that wasn't based on data. And he was not aware of the studies supporting that specific distance. Francis Collins, his boss, said the same. We found out from the former FDA chief that it was originally going to be 10 feet. 10 feet. But they said that really wouldn't work with the American people, so they just brought it down to 6 feet. This rule shaped school capacity, business operations, church attendance, and daily life for years. It was enforced as if it were rigorous science. When the face of the federal response later admits it lacked hard evidence, it's not a mere footnote. It's not a minor footnote. I don't know why I saw a mirror. Not a minor footnote. It was a policy failure that imposed real cost. So can we agree there? How about the active push for school closures while later minimizing his role? Fauci's private diary shows he personally called the New York City mayor, Bill de Blasio, in March of 2020 and convinced him to close the schools, the bars, and the restaurants. He had a similar conversation with then California's governor, Gavin Newsom, and his chief of staff. The governor then closed schools based on a significant part of Fauci's public statements. Later, he told interviewers that he had nothing to do with school closures, and he always favored keeping them open when possible. His own diaries say otherwise. Punishment for that? How about oversight failures on EcoHealth Alliance and the Wuhan-related research? NIAID under Fauci funded EcoHealth Alliance, which subcontracted coronavirus work to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Progress reports were late. Environments that produced enhanced growth, meaning the 1 log threshold that should have triggered immediate reporting, were not promptly flagged. Definitions of gain of functions were debated and semantically characterized after the fact. You might remember that exchange between he and Rand Paul, saying that gain of function was not gain of function, even by his own definition. How about that? How about treating the lab leak hypothesis as fringe, while privately the experts he convened with saw it as plausible? That mean anything? This one, I think, takes the cake. If there's ever a reason why Dr. Fauci should be locked up under the prison, is for this one. I represent science. Yeah. That's the one that always gets me. So if you're debating me, you're debating science. That's my favorite. Everyone thought he was an egomaniac when he said it. To now read his diaries and find out that that's exactly who he was, oh man, we couldn't stop patting ourselves on the back. And I want to give it up to all you people who said, just wear a mask. What's wrong with you? Just get your vaccine. What's wrong with you? All you people who say, when you die. I had a guy just on Facebook the other day. Guy on Facebook the other day said something along the lines of talking about how more people in red states died than they did in blue states, which of course was absolutely asinine as a statement. Of course, I fact-checked him, and he's been silent ever since. He also thanked me. But I remember saying that when the story first came out. They were just like, there are more people dying in the red states than there are in the blue states. And I said, why aren't you happy? You should be happy. MAGA is dying. Why are you not applauding? Huh? You should be Charlie Kirk applauding us before Charlie Kirk died. You should have been like, yay, MAGA is dead. Huh? You're going to sit up here and tell us that you were the kind-hearted ones? Who believes that nonsense? You bozos knew that wasn't true. New York, California, New Jersey, right here in Connecticut. Governors were a joke. They were the ones who were saying, I don't trust the President of the United States. If there's anyone I trust Dr. Anthony Fauci. He's who I go to for all of my thoughts. Yeah. No one's ever asked him about it. Not even me, which I should. I'll get a chance. They're going to have another press conference at 10 o'clock. They're so foolish. Which one are you going to figure it out? Hold the press conferences at 2 when I'm on the show. Let's take a break. Take your phone calls. Dr. Steve, go nowhere. Look at Dr. Steve is in the house early. We'll talk to him when we return. Stand by. It's Reese on the radio.
Eat it up, the hard-fought yard goats. Eat it up.
The Yard Goats are back home Tuesday, August 11th for 2 weeks, and the Yankees affiliate is coming to town. Kids jersey giveaway, adult jersey giveaway, hat giveaway, Chase and Marshall from Paw Patrol, fireworks, kids run the bases, and more. Don't miss your chance to see the Yard Goats before the summer is over. Tickets start at just $10. Get yours today at yardgoatsbaseball.com.
Are you looking for a podcast about pro football that doesn't put you to sleep with an avalanche of analytics or insult your fandom with brainless hot takes? Well, hi. I'm Dan Hansis.
And I'm Mark Sessler.
Oh, hi, Mark. And we're the hosts of Heed the Call, the NFL podcast you've been waiting your whole life for.
Heed the Call covers every game, every storyline, everything that matters, and we do it all with a touch of mirth.
Football is fun. Why shouldn't your football podcast be the same?
Follow and listen to Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's be real. With Trump in the White House, times have been tough. But in Connecticut, thankfully, we've had a governor who put his foot down and protected us from the chaos. When Donald Trump cut health coverage, Lamont capped insulin costs, canceled medical debt for working people, and restored the health care funding our families depend on. Now he's working towards universal health care. While ICE creates chaos nationwide, Governor Lamont's passed laws banning ICE from our schools and places of worship.
ICE, go home. We're keeping Connecticut safe without you.
And as Trump cut taxes for billionaires, Governor Lamont's cutting taxes for the middle class, with new plans to make sure big corporations paid their fair share.
And we're trying to make life a little less expensive for working families in the middle class.
With Trump in the White House, we need a governor with the experience and the backbone to fight back. That's Ned Lamont.
I'm Ned Lamont, candidate for governor, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ned for CT. Approved by Ned Lamont.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
And now, a WTIC news update.
90 degrees at 3:30. I'm John Silva. Connecticut Children's in Hartford says it has reached an agreement with the Justice Department to end gender-affirming care for minors. The DOJ made the announcement on Wednesday. In a press release, it says Connecticut Children's will also pay $500,000 to former patients it says are, quote, living with the harmful consequences of gender-affirming care, end quote. The hospital says it will comply and continue to comply with state and federal laws. Hartford police are investigating a fatal shooting from Wednesday. They were called to the area of North Canaan Street just after 10 last night. Check out a shot spotter notification. That's where they found 20-year-old Richard Williams of Hartford in a vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police in Enfield at the scene of an investigation, been there most of the day on Moody Road. No word on what exactly they were investigating. Officers do say there's no danger to the public. State police are charging a man from Thompson with embezzling tens of thousands of dollars from a local church. Troopers say 65-year-old Bruce Hall of Thompson took over $33,000 from Thompson Congregational Church. They say the thefts took place between April and September of last year. Hall was brought on to help with grant writing and fundraising. He's now charged with larceny. Bond set at $150,000. Dr. Anthony Fauci is facing contempt of Congress charges.
The Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs voted along party lines to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress and refer him to the Justice Department for potential prosecution over his refusal to answer questions more than 100 times at a hearing last week focused on his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Committee Chairman Senator Rand Paul.
We are voting on whether a witness who has received the benefit of a sweeping federal pardon can be ordered by this committee to answer questions and then defy that order without consequence.
Ranking Member Senator Gary Peters and other Democrats say Fauci has a well-founded fear of self-incrimination given a public desire by Republicans to seek his prosecution.
They will point directly to this vote
this vote as a justification for refusing to appear at all.
I'm Lisa Dwyer.
President Trump's administration plans to overhaul Head Start, that key early education program for the nation's poorest children. Officials with the Department of Health and Human Services say the changes posted online today would encourage more local decision-making by eliminating many federal regulations. WTIC News Time 3:32. Here's the forecast.
We've made it to the 90s across the area with lots of humidity and a few thunderstorms as we head through this evening. Then they die down, partly cloudy tonight with a low of 73. Tomorrow is still humid with sun and clouds, a high of 89. We'll have afternoon thunderstorms kicking around. They'll die down into tomorrow evening. And then Saturday is humid, some sunshine, a high of 89 with afternoon thunderstorms and a spot or two. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow's down 458 points. NASDAQ's up a point. S&P's down 12. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and at newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
Irby Fisher. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A successful retirement doesn't just happen. It requires a plan that is custom built to suit everyone's individual financial situation. Every Saturday at 3, we share vital information on how to build and live a successful retirement. It's On the Money with Jay Dorso. Retirement strategies on building income and proper protection from the pitfalls and the latest news in the retirement universe. On the Money with Jay Dorso, 3 p.m. this Saturday on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, lead to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that, if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 7 offices, including our new office in Bridgewater.
Brian Shackman here for Serta Pro Painters. You know, we all love our homes. I really love mine. But in the kitchen, things were not looking so good. Scuffs, scratches, peeling paint, and I needed help. And you know what I got help from? Serta Pro Painters. Whether inside or out, protect your home with quality paint and a worry-free process. You get a free estimate, detailed, easy to understand, great communication, dedicated to finding you the right color and doing a great job. It's Serta Pro Painters, Serta with a C, and you can book your free estimate online at certaapro.com.
Each Serta Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. And finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs. Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Today we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not.
there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/radio. That's legacybox.com/radio.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Hey, he's your friendly neighborhood Reese on the radio. Right now on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are back. Reese on the radio here. Thank you, Dr. Steve, for staying on the line, sir. How are you?
Sure thing, Reese. Yeah, great. How are you?
I'm all right. So, Dr. Steve, I'm under the impression that you were a proponent of taking the vaccine in the past. Is that accurate?
That's accurate, though I don't know how you would have known that necessarily.
But I do know it. I know a lot of things. But nonetheless, you were a proponent of taking the vaccine. What say you now in hindsight?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, that was the question. Yeah, how do I say now? Yeah, I mean, I 100% believe in COVID vaccination, and I intend to get my COVID vaccine in a couple months.
So you still believe in the vaccine and its efficacy?
I do. I have no reason not to.
Dr. Fauci's personal notes don't give you any pause?
Nope. There's no reason that I would have any doubt about the vaccine. I am a doctor. I'm a scientist. I believe in public health.
Believing in public health is one thing, but I wouldn't conflate the two. Dr. Steve, let's go one step further. Even with knowing that Dr. Fauci, who suffered injury from his booster shot, you still have no pause? He hid that from public view. While others were talking about vaccine harm happening to them, he not only suppressed that, but the government under Joe Biden also suppressed it. Vaccine injuries reached the tens of thousands while he and others suppressed that information through VAERS.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have to look at the benefits of something and not exclusively at the risks.
Well, I would compare and contrast. I would look at the number of people who have died.
Of course.
I'll put it to this way. Let's look at the comparison in this case. Do you know the number of people who had vaccine injury from the flu vaccine versus that of the COVID one?
Off the top of my head, I can't say that. No.
It's marginal at best. We're talking 25 years of research under the flu vaccine versus the amount of injury, if not death. I would just say death. Between comparison in 25 years, the death from the flu vaccine pales in comparison in 1 year of the deaths related to the COVID vaccine. Would you not consider that alarming?
If I agreed with you, I would consider it alarming, but I don't agree with you.
You don't have to agree with me. The facts are there, Dr. Steve.
No, I disagree. The facts
No, hold on, Dr. Steve. With all due respect, if you think I'm trying to convince you, you're wrong, sir. I already know what the facts are. I don't need you to confirm. I already know what they are. I'm just asking you whether or not you know, and it doesn't appear that you do. Because if you're telling me I'm not sure, I already know that you don't know. Because trust me when I tell you, I am literally, I'll put it this way. Not only do I need to put my hands on a stack of Bibles, I would bet you $1,000. I bet you my paycheck I know.
Reese, I am surprised that you are attacking my understanding of the literature, the published literature on COVID vaccination mortality, which is not to say that I'm not suggesting that I feel aggrieved that you're attacking me personally, but simply that you're assuming that I know nothing about this subject, when what I'm actually saying is that your interpretation of the data that you are looking at may conflict with the data that I look at in scientific journals that are of repute, that look exactly at the actual mortality rates from vaccination. And I'm not debating that the literature the information that you're looking at is telling you something, and you're not trying to convince me of that. You're telling it to me as if it is objective fact. But all I can say to you in response is that I look at data from scientific journals, and the totality of the evidence tells us that the mortality rates from COVID were infinitesimally small, considering that over 1 billion people have received this vaccine, and hundreds of thousands of lives benefited from that, with significant reductions in mortality rates in hospitals, but more than that, significant reductions in morbidity rates, meaning different reductions in the duration of hospital stays, the severity of hospital stays, the rates of being intubated, being on a ventilator, the rates of complications after COVID, long COVID syndrome, et cetera, for which the evidence showing the reductions in long COVID syndrome because of vaccination is uncountable. How much benefits there were.
Dr. Steve, would you consider the medical journal The Lancet a leading medical journal?
It is, absolutely, yes.
Is that what you're referring to as The Lancet?
Well, The Lancet, the New England Journal of Medicine, British Medical Journal, all of these are reputable journals with good data in them, yes.
Let's go one step further, sir. Are you suggesting to me that The Lancet is a credible source on COVID research, sir, and they have never once lied, misled in their coverage of COVID vaccines inside that publication?
Well, to use the word lie suggests intentionality. There is certainly...
Dr. Steve, I use the words intentionally. You don't have to disseminate what I'm saying. I'm telling you what I'm saying. Are you suggesting that The Lancet in no way whatsoever in talking about COVID, COVID-19, or COVID vaccines lied in their literature?
I'm saying that in the history of science, it is not unusual for data to be released that could have been vetted better and could have been analyzed better, and subsequently, upon further review and further evaluation, some recommendations are overturned.
Are you aware that Dr. Fauci... Are you aware of Dr. Fauci and his boss telling people in The Lancet to write a letter to fabricate information related to COVID, COVID-19, the spread of the virus, where it came from, and it was published in The Lancet?
Can you repeat that question? I didn't quite understand.
Are you aware that Dr. Fauci and his boss got together with other virologists and wrote a falsified, lying, misleading, disingenuous paper as it relates to COVID-19, its origins, gain of function, and the veracity of COVID vaccines?
No, I do not believe that. What I believe is that with the limited information available to them, there are times when you have to make an executive decision for the safety of a population. And if you're making a decision based on inadequate data, sometimes subsequent introspection and looking at that data may lead to different interpretations. But I don't believe that anyone, including Dr. Fauci, deliberately went out of his way to deceive the American public in a way that was designed to inflict harm. I mean, why would Dr. Fauci be invested in hurting American people?
Because Dr. Fauci wished to engage in gain-of-function research so that he could develop vaccines and make a profit, sir. Which
that
he...
is a
Wait. It's not a fantastical...
leap of like nefarious, this value has a legacy of involvement in the infectious disease
Did Dr. Fauci
role in stamping out AIDS on a global scale?
Dr. Steve,
he would actually harm the public community because
Dr. Steve, let me ask you. Come on, look, Dr. Steve, look. Let me get in here a little bit. Are you telling me that Dr. Fauci, there is no evidence of him trying to get personal gain as a as a government official? Are you telling me there's no evidence of that?
I do not believe. I believe that his heart was in the right place, and he did the best he could with the information that he had available to him. He was not interested in harming American citizens.
And you know this, Dr. Steve. You sound like you're a personal friend of his, sir. Where are you getting this? Where are you getting this from?
Well, I would say I'm getting it from all the infectious disease people that I do know personally who consistently, universally, and uniformly subscribe to his opinions and his approach.
What about Dr. Fauci, his personal notes where women were saying that, there were women who were saying they did not want to take the vaccine because they thought it would harm their children, to which Dr. Fauci denied that was happening, said there was no truth to it. What about the fact that there were women who were complaining that their menstrual cycles were being affected by, to which Dr. Fauci and the CDC denied it was happening? And then we caught them in the middle of the night after they'd done the research, changing the CDC's messaging on those two things in particular in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, again, I would say it's like being in a field of battle, right? I mean, there's a point at which you have the available information you have, and you have to act upon it.
But you can't go out in the public and say that you can't go out in the public, which is what Dr. Fauci had done. He went out in the public and said that those things were untrue. He went out and told everyone that he said that this had come from a wet market and had jumped from species, or in other words, animal to human, which was 100% false. We have the documents that suggest that he was lying about that because privately he was telling people to never, ever reveal that there was a potential lab leak. We have that documented in his own words on his own federal diary. We now have possession of his federal phone, which we're probably going to get even more information from. What would it take, Dr. Steve, for you to finally accept that Dr. Fauci it may as well be, I don't know, the island of Dr. Moreau, for crying out loud? Do you believe that he put beagles inside tents with flies? Do you believe any of that research to be true?
I don't know about the beagles and the flies.
Oh my goodness, okay. You know what, Dr. Steve, don't go anywhere. Stand by. I got to take a break for a second.
I can't.
You can't? Okay. All right, that's all right. I'm glad you stuck around for even a minute. God bless you, man. You know I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Till next time.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
Look, maybe he's very busy. I got to do this all day, and I got to pull like threads every day. Maybe he just didn't see all of this. Maybe we are a bunch of wonks who know every bit of this stuff. Maybe he just missed it. Okay, we got to take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views when we return. It's Reese on the Radio.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
Apple is adding an AI agent to its Apple Store app in a move that the company says will help users purchase devices based on details like account information, device identities, and carrier information. Apple says where the Apple Store app virtual shopping assistant is available, it will collect and store data, including chat information and, where enabled, location data to personalize the chat experience. I'm Jason Brooks.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
My poor Patty. Patty, I'm so sorry that happened. Patty's sent me these text messages. I know her and Simsbury Joe are going nuts. What is he talking about? I don't know, folks. I don't know. I'm looking at all of this and going, he knew nothing? I'm pulling this stuff off the top of my head. I was trying to find the audio of Senator Johnson he was on Maria Bartiromo's show. It was a classic audio. I'm going to see if I can still find it. I'll play it later. Again, I don't know what to tell you. Hi, Lynn. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing okay.
What do you got for me?
You probably can't tell me, but I would really like to know this Dr. Scott's last name.
Dr. Steve, yeah. I don't know.
I don't want to go to any more kook doctors, that's for sure.
I don't blame
like Dr. Bill or what? What? I mean, he can't be a real doctor. There's no way. No way.
I don't know. I'm just sitting there going, you know what? What is that? The man who didn't know. He is like that guy. He just one guy. Everybody else is like learning all of this stuff going, wow. Like, I cannot believe this has happened. And this guy's going, nope, never heard it. It's like, yeah, it's like, did you hear that there were people dying from the vaccine? Nope. No, I missed that.
You live in a cave or what? I don't know.
I'm going, I'm like, he had to have heard one of those stories, right?
Yeah, is he in Connecticut? I mean, it came out of Fauci's own diary.
Yeah, but, I'll tell you the leap of faith here is probably my favorite one, is the fact that he does not believe Dr. Fauci would do that, even after knowing what the diaries say. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah. Yes. Oh, my goodness. My mind is like blown. I really don't.
God bless you, Lynn. I promise, whatever. Yes. I'll put it to this way. The next time you go to the doctor, ask him what his first name is. And does he listen to Reese on the radio? God bless you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Let me go to Ken in the car real quick. How you doing, Ken?
I'm good, Reese. How you doing? I just want to say I heard Dr. Steve there saying he never heard the story about the beagles and the flies.
Yeah.
I can understand that because they weren't flies. They were red fire ants.
That's right. Thank you for the correction.
They cut the vocal cords of the beagles
so you wouldn't hear them squeal.
Make any noise.
That's right.
And then going back, he said that... well, look at all the good stuff he did with AIDS.
Oh.
It's funny he says that because just today, one of the people that I follow brought up this whole thing with Dr. Fauci and the AIDS thing and everything, the AZT drug.
That's correct.
That was tested, killed more people than actual AIDS itself.
They were outside of his office. There's an old video of it, of people outside of his office from the gay community. They were rioting outside, cursing him out. He has a very sordid history with the gay community during that time.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy.
So, like you said, I don't know if Dr. Steve lives under a rock or. I mean, I'm not saying he's a liar, but
maybe he just doesn't know.
I can't believe that.
I know. There's a part of me, too. I agree with you.
You know, I really can't believe that.
And thank you for the correction. You're right. It was the red ant. You're so right about that. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Talk to you later.
You got it. Let's get our first check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's here. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading on the eastbound side of I-84, coming into Hartford, you got delays about half mile before 46th Avenue, down to the Bulkley Bridge, and again, slow traffic from exit 59 out to exit 62 in Manchester. Right lane out there. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. Southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B. If you're traveling to westbound, you're hung up 1D up to the 84 West merge. 291 westbound slowing from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. And if you're traveling 91 southbound on the Meriden-Wallingford line between exit 17 and 15, look out for an accident involving a tractor-trailer. Right and center lanes are out there. Stay to the left. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy for the rest of today, but the story is the heat and the humidity as we've made it to the 90s across much of the area. But the story continues with showers and thunderstorms mixing in right through this evening. Watch out for those. Then we're partly cloudy tonight as we hit a low of 73. Tomorrow, still very humid, sun and clouds for us, a high of 89 degrees. But yet again, we have the chance for thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. These storms can bring heavy rainfall that could lead to flooding downpours as well as locally damaging wind gusts. They'll die down tomorrow night, and then it becomes partly cloudy, still sticky with a low of 73. Saturday starts our weekend with some sunshine, and then watch out. There's still some afternoon thunderstorms, one or two of them in a spot, as we hit a high of 89 degrees. Sunday, we'll finish our weekend mostly sunny and hot with a high near 90. On Monday, we're partly sunny, still very warm and humid, and those thunderstorms, they still have a chance to be out there with a high of 89. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 4 o'clock. Hartford temperature is 90 degrees on Thursday, partly sunny skies. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. In Hartford, police continue their investigation into the capital city's latest homicide. They say just after 10 last night, they were called to a location on North Canaan Street to investigate a shot spotter notification. That's where they found 20-year-old resident Richard Williams unresponsive in a vehicle. He'd been shot numerous times, they say. Williams was pronounced dead on scene. No word yet on any suspects or a motive. Anyone with any information, though, is being asked to get in touch with the Hartford Police Department. One of the top races of this election season is that of governor in Connecticut. Democratic primary is on Tuesday. Progressive challenger, State Representative Josh Elliott of Hamden, insists it is time for a change as he runs on an agenda focusing on, among other things, taxing the wealthy and allowing more municipalities to run their own utilities.
We're going to lose more and more people from the Democratic Party who feel like people make promises that they don't keep up, because the big difference between Ned Lamont and I is that he will use a platform to get elected, but I use the platform to tell people what I want to do. Those are two very different things.
Incumbent Governor Lamont says he's got the track record after 8 years, not Elliott.
They know where I stand. They know what we've gotten done over the last 7.5 years, and they have a pretty good idea of what we got to get done over the next 4 years. You know, stick to those type of issues. Enough of these veiled accusations. You got some facts, back it up. Otherwise, let's get back to business.
Early voting in Connecticut continues through Sunday. The polls are open late tonight, later than normal, 8 p.m. And again, the primary is next Tuesday. As Democrat Jim Himes seeks a 10th term in Congress in southwestern Connecticut, two Republicans are competing to face him in November. Dr. Michael Goldstein running for the seat for a third time. 37-year-old youth hockey coach Dan Moresi is facing him and suggests Goldstein might be running for the wrong reasons.
Something for his own vanity. If he gets elected, he'll just represent the same old Republican talking points. He's never met a bill with Israel in it he didn't like. Overall, between him and Jim Himes, it's the same old. It's Greenwich and the country club kind of versus everyone else in Connecticut.
Moresi is a conservative who says the state Republican Party needs more cohesive messaging. He supports President Trump, but says he won't be a rubber stamp for the president either. He's raised about $10,000 for his campaign. Goldstein about 5 times that. Goldstein, WTIC News requested an interview from Goldstein. He never responded. The trial of Lindsay Clancy continues in Massachusetts. Wallingford native is accused of strangling her 3 children and attempting to take her own life. The defense says she suffered from postpartum psychosis. The medical examiner described autopsy images of the youngest child, Kaylin. Dr. Sarah Orek, an ABC News medical contributor, describes the condition that can appear with virtually no warning.
Someone can appear functional at one point and have a break, and that is psychotic, a break with reality, where they're having bizarre thoughts, suicidal thoughts, homicidal thoughts. It sounds like Lindsay Clancy had voiced some of these at some point.
Clancy faces life in prison. If convicted, she'd be committed to a mental health facility. If she is acquitted, she faces life if convicted. Gas prices continue to yo-yo up and down as the analysts wait for potential negotiations between the U.S. and Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. Correspondent Elizabeth Schulze explains even if there's an agreement, it'll take some time for prices to come down.
When you're filling up right now, compared to before the start of the war, a typical size SUV, 18 gallons, it's about $20 more on average every fill up. People are filling up once a week, if not more. This is still a higher cost, and it's, to get to that point where we were before the war, $2.94 a gallon, it's still going to take some time and a lot more than a promise that the shipping is going to happen.
Wall Street, the Dow down 464 points, NASDAQ down 15, S&P down 13. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Reese is on the radio.
I don't care what Dr. Fauci is. It's Reese on the radio. First half of the show already done. Second one underway. When we come back, don't forget your favorite programming.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
That's right. Negro Nonsense coming up. Stand by for that. I love the left. They said, what are you MAGAs going to dredge up next? Ted Kennedy and Chappaquiddick? That's how you know you have a leftist on the ropes. Talking about Dr. Fauci just 6 years ago, now all of a sudden they're thinking it's old news. Go ahead and defend Dr. Fauci. It's okay. See, this is the constant And this is this guy, Bob J. He's one of the guys who says the same thing. You guys are always going to defend Donald Trump no matter what. And then here, literally, Dr. Mengele. They're sitting up here going, no, you still going after Dr. Fauci? Yeah, okay. Yeah, nobody's listening to that nonsense anymore. That's why I love it when they come in. And by the way, thank you, and welcome to your favorite show. I mean, that is the reason why you're here. I mean, it is your favorite show. It is Democrats' favorite program. Don't let them tell you otherwise. They love Reese on the radio. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is here. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. I mean, let's be honest, Mark. What else are they going to listen to from 2 to 6?
I don't know. I mean, really, not a lot of options at this point.
Not a lot of options.
Not a lot of options.
Not at all. Exactly.
You know, well, you just give them good radio, and they'll be here. That's the bottom line.
I think, yeah, you know what? They ask, I give.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a giver.
Give. Selfless. That's what you are.
There you go.
Selfless.
There you go.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the eastbound side of I-84, look for delays now, 46 Sisson Avenue down to the Bulkley. A little tight again as you move out between exit 61 and 62. Looks like a problem on the right lane out there. Westbound 84 slows 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 91 southbound's a little tight at 33 Jennings Road. And again, you'll see some slow traffic in Meriden, 91 south approaching 19 down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Seeing some delays on the southbound side of I-91 on the Meriden Wallingford line between exit 17 and 15. The right and center lanes are shut down there because of an accident involving a tractor trailer, so you want to stay left with that. If you are traveling into Middletown, 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 north again is sluggish from exit 32 in Berlin up to the 72 interchange in New Britain. Westbound side of 84, look for some slow traffic as you move between exit 33 and 32 in Southington, again out by 31. And then you're back into some heavy stop and go 691 interchange up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing, approaching 17 down into the area of the Mixmaster in Waterbury. And if you are traveling southbound 91, look for slow traffic now as you move from Wallingford down into Hamden. Looks like we have an accident in the area of exit 52 on the southbound side of the parkway, so pretty heavy delays there. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We are still holding on to the 90s outside. It is hot. It is humid. Watch out. There has been a thunderstorm glancing throughout time. Still could be another one as we head into this evening. Then we are partly cloudy for tonight and sticky. A low of 73. The moisture is still around tomorrow, so we're still humid, sun and clouds. A high of 89 degrees. But watch out because the afternoon into the evening hours, we've got showers and thunderstorms. And some of those thunderstorms will have heavy enough rain to create localized flooding or even damaging wind gusts. Tomorrow night, thunderstorms will die down in the evening. Then it's partly cloudy, a low of 73. And we're sticky right into Saturday where the humidity is found, some sunshine, a high of 89. And some afternoon thunderstorms. Sunday, mostly sunny, hot, a high of 90 degrees to close out the weekend. Should be largely dry that day. And then on Monday, we're partly sunny, very warm with a high of 89, and still an afternoon thunderstorm can't be ruled out. Right now, it's 90 in Plainville, 91 in Vernon, and 90 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Still relying on an old noisy heating or cooling system? Maybe it's time for an upgrade. Campbell Cooling installs energy-efficient central air systems, heat pumps, mini splits, boilers, furnaces, and hot water heaters designed to keep your home comfortable. Need oil delivery too? Their sister company, Barney Barker Oil, has you covered from installation, maintenance, and emergency service. Campbell Cooling is Hartford County's local comfort expert. Schedule your free estimate today. CampbellCooling.com, 860-666-2696. Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Reese on the radio, and August 14th is my birthday, and I want to spend it with you. So we're taking the show on the road for a special birthday broadcast. We'll be broadcasting live from Stadium 15 in Farmington, Connecticut from 2 to 6. Maybe there'll be an after party. Who knows? So make plans to hang out, listen to the show, have some food, some drinks, and help me celebrate my birthday. It's the 14th at 15. Stadium 15 in Farmington from 2 to 6 on Friday, August the 14th. Hope to see you there.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra vutrisiran is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. If you're on the phones, I'm going to tell you, call me back in the next break. Roughly about the 4:40 hour, I will get to those phone calls then. I got to get to this particular segment, so I don't want people sitting on hold waiting forever and then complaining. It was like, I was on hold. Yeah, you just have to be on hold. You guys know I don't really take the phone calls until later on in the show. I got a lot of stuff to get into. I do a lot of preparation. Do you know what I will never hear in my life? And I believe that you will never hear it. And anyone who tells me different, I will be shocked. If that evidence ever presents itself, I would be the first one shocked. You know what I never hear? I never hear this. You know, as a white person, I know what the white man's thinking. You see, white people like Volvos and green bean casserole. I just know white folks. No one has ever in my lifetime ever done that. Ever. Not once. I know how the white man thinks. Like white people who've actually said, as a white man, I know exactly what the white man's thinking. I know he wakes up in the morning, he says to himself, where's my wife and my kids? What college they're going to? No. Why? Because white people are as diverse as they could ever be. Liberal, conservative, far right, far left. You know, rich, poor, in between, ghettofied. It's hard to pin them down. They could be anything. They could just walk right in front of you. Can't figure them out. Unless, of course, they're dressed a certain way. You know, maybe there's a white guy with a bunch of tattoos, but you don't know whether or not he's like, you know, educated or not, or whether or not he just likes tattoos. Can't pin him down. It's the one time in your life you can't judge a book by its cover. Sit there and talk to him to find out the guy's a nuclear physicist. It's like, but damn, you got a bone through your nose and a mohawk. You just can't. And that's why you'll never, ever hear white people say something like that. No, I just know them. I just know white people. And the way we think is this, that, or the other thing. And they don't ever deviate. No, it never, ever would happen. There's only one group of people who do that. There's only one group of people who speak for everyone in their race. And you know who they are. They're the blacks. They just are. They just are. Don't believe me? Hold on. Listen closely.
Joe Biden has not lost any support among African Americans. Now, you can go out and talk to 10 people, publish the comments of one, and maybe give off a different thought. But
Jim Clyburn, Congressman, South Carolina.
The fact of the matter is, I don't believe for one moment that Donald Trump will get 15% of the African American vote. That's not going to happen. I know what it was 13% they said before. I question that number as well. I don't think for one moment that her entrance into the race did not change anything with black people. I don't know who those 4 people were. I could not see them, but I would hope that they do not reflect what's going on in this country.
Let's go one step further, Mr. Clyburn. Let's go one step further. How exactly do you know what black folks are thinking across the country. Care to explain to me and Jake Tapper here?
I know this. They do not reflect the black people that I talk to. And I'm an AME, African Methodist Episcopal. I'm a 33rd degree Prince Hall Mason. I'm a member of the Divine Nine. And I interact with all of these people. And I do not see 15% among them voting for Donald Trump. And every one of them have been energized by the entrance of Kamala Harris in this race.
Now, you heard what he said now, boy, there, boy. He said, I know my black people. I know exactly what they think. I know what they think. I know what they believe. I know what they eat. I'm a part of the AME church. I'm a Freemason. I even play a little bit of basketball. I like barbecue and fried chicken. That's what he's telling you, folks. Again, the only group of people in the world who tell us that they can tell you just by looking at you. Well, you're black. I know exactly what you think. And they don't think that any of that is...
Negro nonsense. How dare you? Negro nonsense. How dare you? Negro nonsense. How dare you?
Now, why is this a part of Negro nonsense? Well, did you hear that the autopsy from 2024 was released a couple of months ago? And the New York Times published an article just a day or so ago saying that there was one section that was removed from the autopsy. We found out what that section was. But the New York Times barely talks about it. So we will hear. The man who wrote the Democrats' official post-mortem on their 2024 loss says a key chapter never made it into the version that the party released. Paul Rivera, the Democratic strategist hired to produce the autopsy, told the New York Times he printed the section titled "What Happened in 2024." He put it in a 3-ring binder and personally handed it to the Democratic National Committee Chairman Ken Martin in January. Martin says, I never saw it. The draft party published in May left it out. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. It was because of what Representative Jim Clyburn was responding to everywhere.
So just listen to these people with all these platitudes and listen to his minions out here mouthing off this stuff. We have to be very careful because this is all about miscommunication, disinformation, and that is what caused me great pause because I know the power of the media. And the power of the media repeating these things rather than reporting what is actually happening, that is what's causing the problem. People feel depressed. And if you depress enough people, you can suppress their votes.
That's right.
That's why I'm running around the country.
You can suppress their vote, Jim Clyburn say. What was he talking about? The thing that was revealed in this autopsy was a chapter that focused on 3 politically sensitive points the public version largely avoided. That Joe Biden's decision to seek re-election, the outsized influence of class of Democratic constituents who have become generally the part of their entire party were leaving it. The black vote, the Hispanic vote, the Asian American vote, and the Native American vote. On blacks specifically, black voters, 792 counties were counted. 658 of them moved toward Donald Trump in 2024. Only 134 of them moved towards Kamala Harris. Again, 658 out of 792 counties were moving towards Donald Trump, black voters. Does anybody remember me in 2024 on this very program, at this very time slot, before the election, telling you that African-American voters were going to vote for Donald Trump overwhelmingly, that there was a shift happening, that there was a glitch in the matrix? And there were some of you who were calling saying, I hope so, Reese. I hope so. Well, the autopsy proved it. In Cook County, Illinois. Anybody want to guess where that is? That's right, Chicago. Chicago and its suburbs sits at the top of the list by raw black population, more than 1.1 million black residents, about 22% of the county. According to the chapter's data, black turnout fell roughly 12 percentage points from 2020. Democratic vote share in the county dropped, and the pattern repeated across other big urban areas and black populations like Wayne County in Michigan, also known as Detroit, Kings County, Brooklyn, and a town I can't stand, Philadelphia. Oh, and Los Angeles. Yes, these large African-American communities saw a shift. And Jim Clyburn was desperate.
Your friend, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, who you campaigned with in Michigan, says that the message she's hearing from black men is, quote, Democrats take us for granted. Donald Trump talks to us directly. Are you concerned about black men voting for Trump or staying home?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Yes, I am concerned about black men staying home or voting for Trump. But my concerns don't tend to keep me from being energetic about this campaign.
That was in October of 2024, after he had gone on and on and on about black men going for Donald Trump. Hogwash, I tell you. No way, no how. Absolute nonsense. By October 2024, October 24th to be exact, well, I am concerned. I'm concerned that these Negroes don't know their place. I cannot believe that they have been mesmerized by Donald Trump once again. That he has probably promised them things that he will never ever give them. I'm absolutely flabbergasted, white woman, how the brothers could possibly leave the sister girl, allegedly, and go with Donald Trump after everything we've done to call him a racist and a bigot, that the black man or woman would ever think of leaving the plantation. We got to send out the cavalry and bring them home. Bob J says, and what did those blacks receive for supporting Donald Trump? Well, Bob, they received the most important thing. Freedom! They got freedom! They could think for themselves. They were allowed to have opinions differing from other people. They were allowed diversity of thought. They were removed from bondage. They were allowed to pull the shackles from their brains. Freedom is what they gained, sir. The most important thing. Freedom. How did they say it in, what's the name of that movie? Amistad? Give us free. They got freedom. They didn't get handouts. They didn't get free chicken and waffles. I know that's important to you. I know it's important that they get, Kool-Aid, things like that, in a styrofoam case. Like Biden did when he went to go visit that black family. Showed up with fried chicken, sitting at the table with the styrofoam. Yeah, remember that? The president showed up at the house of black folks with chicken and styrofoam plates. I saw it. You did. What did they get in exchange? I got to take a break. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher, yeah, there he is. He's back. We'll be back. Mark Christopher's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. 84 eastbound. You got delays now. About a half mile before 46th Avenue down to the Bulkley. Westbound 84 is tied up from 56 Governor Street out to exit 47 Sigourney. 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 A and B. If you are traveling 91 south in Meriden, some slow traffic as you move between exit 19 and 17 for the Wilbur-Cross Parkway. Look out for a crash on the Meriden-Wallingford line. Southbound 91 between exit 17 and 15. The right lane is shut down there, so you want to stay to the left there to get around that. That accident does involve a tractor-trailer. If you're traveling on the northbound side of Route 9, delays approaching the Harbor Park area up to the Aragoni Bridge at Middletown. 9 southbound slowing Cromwell Middletown line to the Aragoni. 84 eastbound Waterbury delays approaching 17 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 is heavy from the 691 interchange in Cheshire right up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. And look out for an accident on the southbound side of the Wilbur-Cross Parkway. That's just prior to exit 53, and Hamden delays are back to 58A in Wallingford behind that. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy for the rest of today, but the story is the heat and the humidity as we've made it to the 90s across much of the area. But the story continues with showers and thunderstorms mixing in right through this evening. Watch out for those. Then we're partly cloudy tonight as we hit a low of 73. Tomorrow, still very humid, sun and clouds for us, a high of 89 degrees. But yet again, we have the chance for thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. These storms can bring heavy rainfall that could lead to flooding downpours as well as locally damaging wind gusts. They'll die down tomorrow night, and then it becomes partly cloudy, still sticky with a low of 73. Saturday starts our weekend with some sunshine, and then watch out. There's still some afternoon thunderstorms, 1 or 2 of them in a spot, as we hit a high of 89 degrees. Sunday, we'll finish our weekend mostly sunny and hot with a high near 90. On Monday, we're partly sunny, still very warm and humid, and those thunderstorms, they still have a chance to be out there with a high of 89. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 4:30, 90 degrees, the temperature in Hartford. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. 16-year-old was killed on train tracks in Norwalk on Wednesday. Police say the teen and 2 others were on the tracks when he was struck by a Metro North train that had come in from Danbury. No one on the train was injured. In Hartford, police on the lookout for suspects in the city's latest homicide. They say 20-year-old Richard Williams was found shot multiple times in a car Wednesday night and pronounced dead at the scene. Another food recall to report.
Jalapeno peppers from a farm in Mexico have been linked to a salmonella outbreak. The CDC says the grower is in Sinaloa, Mexico, and the chili peppers were moved into the U.S. by Coast Citrus distributors. The company has recalled the peppers and is notifying customers, including major Mexican food chains. At least 35 people in 27 states became sick. Most cases are in Minnesota and Colorado. Chipotle and Qdoba have removed jalapenos from their restaurants. The FDA is investigating whether any of the jalapenos went to grocery stores. Within hours or days of being exposed to salmonella, infected people can suffer from diarrhea, fever, and stomach cramps. It usually lasts 4 to 7 days, and most people recover without treatment. I'm Ed Donahue.
Senate committee has voted along party lines to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress over his refusal to answer questions at a hearing on his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. State police are charging a man from Thompson with embezzling tens of thousands from a local church. Troopers say 65-year-old Bruce Hall took over $33,000 from Thompson Congregational Church. They say the thefts took place between April and September of last year. Hall was entrusted with the money as part of his job as a fundraiser and grant writer. He's charged with larceny, bond set at $150,000. And John Carpenter has teamed up with his family for a new project, Cathedral. a graphic novel with an original album. The famed director of horror classics like Halloween and The Thing says the movie industry's too corporate now, so he prefers more creative, less costly outlets. After dreaming about a church with an elevator to hell, Carpenter collaborated with his godson and his son on the album. His wife also helped with the graphic novel. Carpenter is also a composer, says music is the greatest form, art form that is, and believes it should remain a human endeavor. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 464 points today. The Nasdaq was down 15, the S&P down 13 points. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Irby Fisher. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, I can't believe I did that. I left that there. I should know better than that. I should know these things. You know what time it is.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Do you ever have you ever held a birthday party at like a McDonald's or a Burger King or anything like that? I mean, I've been to like a party with the kids. I think when my kids were really young, we took them to someone holding a party at a Chuck E. Cheese. I think that those places kind of are the places where you do them. Some other arcades do things like that. They have what's called a party room in them. You should only do it in the places that are designated for that kind of stuff. Which brings us to the stupidest thing I read today, coming out of New Jersey. A place called Joey's Tomato in Point Pleasant Beach. This family wanted to celebrate a birthday for their 5-year-old. They called ahead to the place. They get a green light. They bring their own cake. They drop about $250 on 4 large pies, drinks, and everything. So, in essence, they spent a crap load of money on a 5-year-old's party at this random pizza place in Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey. They had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to ask someone behind the counter for a knife to cut the cake. And the owner of the establishment, Doreen Sullivan Karsich, went full nuclear on them. She went into full meltdown. It was caught on video. Full meltdown. And starts screaming about asking for a knife. She says, okay, so when I come to your house with my candles and my cake, am I going to be able to do whatever I want there now? And what I'm thinking is that they did not inform her. The employees may not have informed her that this family had come in, got the green light to do the party. But just asking for a knife made this woman crazy. And they're pleading with her. They're going, it's our 5-year-old's birthday. She didn't care. She didn't care. She went nuts. Yeah. So many people are calling her probably the worst owner of a business ever. And it is not going to say, it's probably not going to do her much better. But that's Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. I lived there for a little while. That's Jersey. There's a reason why they call it the armpit of America. They do. They just do. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher. He's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mark, Jersey. Spend any time there?
Me in New Jersey?
Yeah, at all.
Let's see. Last time I was in Jersey was like in February. I was in Atlantic City for one of my son's competitions.
Okay.
But that's the last time I was in Jersey.
Atlantic City is a slum.
Yeah, not my favorite place to be.
No, it's
I mean, there's some nice spots, but yeah, it's not. I'd rather go to Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun.
Yeah,
myself,
Atlantic City is not what it used to be.
No,
it is,
it's not. Oh,
absolute
definitely
slum.
not. Definitely not. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, this traffic report being brought to you by Amplify CT. 84 eastbound delays approaching 46 Sisson Avenue to the Bulkley. Westbound 84 tight up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. Southbound 81's a little tight at 33 down to 32 A and B in Hartford. Once you get south of Hartford, you're moving pretty well until you get down into Meriden. You're slowing 19 down to 17. Look out for the remains of an accident, and this is 91 southbound on the Meriden-Wallingford line between exit 17 and 15. Right and center lanes are out there with an accident involving a tractor trailer. Now, if you are traveling 291 westbound, South Windsor delays exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. 2 westbound's a little slow by exit 4 in Glastonbury. Again, 1D up to the 84 west merge in East Hartford. 9 north and southbound slowing at the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound quite heavy now from the 691 interchange in Cheshire up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound in Waterbury tight approaching 17 up to the Mixmaster. And if you're traveling southbound on the Wilbur Cross Parkway, look out for an accident down by exit 53 in Hamden. Delays are back to 58A in Wallingford behind that. Traffic brought to you by Amplify CT. Feeling the pressure? Press pause. Seriously, stepping away to play even for a little while reduces stress, boosts your mood, and sharpens focus. Reclaim your calm. Press pause. Go play. Feel better. It works. Visit amplifyct.org for more ideas to amplify your mental health. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We are still holding on to the 90s across the area with a lot of humidity out there. It's going to stay sticky for the next couple of days. Thunderstorms are still off to our west, but we could see one this evening. Otherwise, it's a partly cloudy night with a low of 73. Tomorrow, we're humid. Sun and clouds, a high of 89 degrees. Watch out for a few showers and even a thunderstorm through the afternoon. Some of those thunderstorms, by the way, they could have heavy rainfall and damaging wind gusts right into tomorrow evening. Tomorrow night, then, we become partly cloudy, a low of 73, still sticky out there. And Saturday is humid, some sunshine, high of 89. An afternoon thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots across the area. Sunday will be mostly sunny, hot, but largely dry with a high of 90 degrees. And Monday is partly sunny and very warm. Watch for an afternoon thunderstorm. Can't be ruled out. High of 89. Right now, it's 90 in Middletown, 94 in Bloomfield, and 90 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brian Shackman here for Serta Pro Painters. Listen, if you have a project and you've been putting it off, you might want to do it now. Serta Pro Painters, by the way, they give you a free estimate and they do it quick. You never have to wonder about what's next. Serta Pro Painters, they are reliable with updates and communication. They did my kitchen and I can't tell you, it's almost like they weren't there. I talked to them and did the estimate. They got the work done and it's great. I loved it. And that was it. Again, Serta Pro Painters, schedule your free estimate online at certapro.com. That's Serta with a C.
Each Serta Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, Money Wisdom. This week we're talking about the retirement tax shock. What's that? Doesn't sound good? Guess what? Paying too much in taxes isn't. Tune in this Saturday at 8:30 on TIC News Talk 1080 and see if there's anything you can do about it.
If you dread dealing with your insurance more than you dread yard work, with a swarm of hungry mosquitoes buzzing around, then you might have Insuranoia. You should have NJM Insurance. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and at newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Peter, you are 100% right when you say that illegal aliens are going to be the next residents on the Democrat plantation. But there is a way to put an end to that, and it is real simple. Never give them the right to vote. And that's got to be fought long and hard. A lot of people have forgotten that Republicans have a very, very important role to play for the future of this country. It can't just be about, people saying, it was like, what am I going to leave my I'll tell you exactly what you're going to leave your kids and your grandkids. Conservative values. It's not going to be enough to leave them money or a legacy. It's not going to be enough. If you don't teach them a value system, if you don't teach them principles, they'll go by the way of the rest of these knuckleheads. That's exactly what happened here. All those free spirits, free range parents. You remember all those? Well, we just let our kid do whatever he wants to. He dresses however he likes. He does what he thinks is best. Remember all those free range folks? Idiots, all of them. And they're also lazy. They don't want the responsibility. I don't know what's better. We just let them make the decision. He'll decide on their own. That's just lazy parenting. You're going to have to do more than that. I know a lot of people, they're afraid of these kids, especially their own. Don't want to have a discussion with them because they don't know how to talk to them. I know how to talk to them. I deal with liberals every day. They always get in front of me, and I know exactly where they're coming from. Their feelings. So I deal with Bob J here. He's crying all the time. Do you know what he actually wrote, a grown man? You know what he actually just wrote as a grown man? And again, I hate to have to call him out like that, but if he ever knew how much of a girl he sounds like when he writes stuff like this, I have to look at him and just go, dude, did you just write that? He says, the president doesn't care about me. What? What are you talking about? Do you need a hug? Is that what Obama made you feel like? That he was caring about you? That he was sitting at home going, yeah, gonna do this for Bob. Did you really believe that? Did you really think that did he give you the impression that he cared? That's what he said? Showing up at the Apollo? Writing a bill that you couldn't know what was in it until after it was signed? Huh? Causing the country to probably be the worst racially than it had been since the civil rights movement? Is that what you want? Is that showing how much he cares? You couldn't hang out with me for 5 minutes. The minute that you said something like that, I was like, please get away from me. Please, just don't. Ooh, what is wrong with you? I'm sorry, this is men talking. Whatever it is you do over there in your alternative lifestyle, go over there and do that. Cares about me. Cares. And, I have friends from that community. Gay as the day is long. And I know them very well, and they're friends of mine. And even they would look at you and go, ugh, grow up. They would roll their eyes at you. You need another grown man to care about you? Shut up. Have another beer, stupid. Just stop. And if you think I'm trying to bully you or make you feel like a clown, mission accomplished. I don't care. I never have. I've never cared. Guys like you, I cannot. I can't care. I can't. You're going to have to man up and do something because guess what? When the chips are down, dude, and we need people to defend us, you're going to be concerned about whether or not the enemy cares. It was hard for me to attack the enemy. He has such a warm look in his eyes. I'm sorry. Fred, how are you, sir? Sorry to make you wait. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. And I have a poem that's dedicated to Dr. Roll Up Your Sleeves, Steve.
Yes. What do you got?
It's called I'm a Doctor. And a few comments after. Yes, there are side effects, but nothing is perfect. It's a matter of context. So talk to your healthcare provider and ask they, him, or her if this experimental pharmaceutical product is right for your particular situation as regards immunization.
Mm-hmm.
A shot in the arm can't do no harm. Actually, junkies say that, and they might be wrong. I appreciate your entreaty, but we have to go back to 2020. We were scared, so scared, both you and me. We were all alone. Sotto voce, the whole world cried, save us, pharmacology. And save us, science did. Don't you remember?
That's right.
It did not go well for the unvaccinated. They lost their jobs. They were scorned. They were hated. Those of us who were more educated and wiser, we trusted Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer. And let me ask you this. Have you ever actually had myocarditis? It's no big deal. For real. And what was the other thing? Oh, yes, young people dropping dead. Why, that's mostly, if not entirely, all in your head.
That's right.
In summation, sit down, shut up, get vaccinated. I'm a doctor. And let me give you the genesis of that. So
Yes.
Peter McCullough was on another show.
Yeah.
And then just to be fair, he had some dope doctor who basically, that was what the guy said.
Right,
you know?
yeah, I know.
And so I wrote it in response to that. And Attorney Genital Tong was on that same show, and he said,
yes!
And he said,
wait, let that sink in for a minute.
all right, let it sink in, let it breathe.
Oh, man. Yeah, you never let a joke like that go away from you. That was brilliant. By the way, what did he say?
He said, Gary, there is no credible evidence of anyone ever being seriously injured or killed by this vaccine.
No, he did not.
He said that. Then they went to break. And then on a later show, Gary relayed that he asked Attorney Mao Zedong between the commercial there if he'd ever heard of VAERS, Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, and Attorney Tong had never heard of it.
Never. Of course he never did. Of course he never did.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but yet there was no credible evidence.
You know, that's exactly what it is. Bozos like that who, you know, they have all the evidence. There's no credible evidence. You ever heard of VAERS? No, I've never heard of it. Then shut up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's just. It's that simple. You ever heard of VAERS? No, I haven't. Then you're not allowed to talk. Please go away. Seriously, there's no serious conversation to be had with a Nimrod.
That's right. Yeah, and let me close with one last thing. Of
Yes.
course, we had buttons when I was a kid in the 60s, then bumper stickers, and then there's T-shirt messages. So at the laundromat the other day, I saw this guy. He was like 3 times my size, and I said, no, just wait. Don't risk getting in his way. Let him finish at the dryer. And we nodded respectfully to each other. But on the back of his shirt, it said, one mind, any weapon.
That's right. That's right. I love it. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Let's go to Wall Street. How are we doing? What are we buying and selling today, sir?
ICE get out of Connecticut. Connecticut residents are already safe with my supervision.
Can you believe it? This guy...
That cop and that mother of three on a motorcycle out at night after midnight. It never would have happened if they had been inside where they belong. My valued voter is now on spectacle. Miss Ramirez, she doesn't deserve this. She's a valued voter.
Yeah,
That's all I'm going to say about the case.
Yeah, you would think that was the case, that these guys, I know they want us to pay attention to Officer Whiteside and, of course, Brittany Islami, but the fact that they are bending over backwards to protect their, the idea that, our elections are safe and free is nonsense. And again, the fact that they have to continue to lie about it. I'm going to bring it back up in the 5 o'clock hour.
Before I get to the license plate identifiers, that Dr. Steve,
yeah,
he is the psychiatrist for that psychopath out of Hamden that calls you, and he tells him for therapy to call your show and talk like he's on his couch. That solves that. And as far as the license plate readers, did you hear what happened to that poor little 2-year-old in Atlanta, Georgia, 2 days ago?
No. Was he kidnapped?
Temporarily.
Okay.
I don't know why mothers pull into places with their car running and they have a child in the back seat and they think for a minute they're safe. Well,
yeah.
Anyway.
In Atlanta, of all places. That's the dumbest place they leave it.
Well, this mother, it was a big news story 2 days ago. She was a courier. That was her job. And she took her 2-year-old girl with her in a child seat on the back seat, tied up. And she went to one of these places. She was in there for a minute. She came out. The car was gone.
Damn.
She went hysterical. They played the 911 call with her sobbing. Well, thanks to the license plate identifiers in Atlanta, the ones that the Democrats are fighting to get rid of here in Connecticut. What's his name?
Bob Duff.
Yeah. Well, Duff should know about this mother. They said it came to a somewhat good ending because in less than 15 minutes, because the license plate identifiers, the carjacker, it was an illegal alien. About 5 miles from the carjacking, they saw the car in a parking lot. They surrounded the car with guns drawn, and they heard a child screaming hysterically. And as they got to the car, the illegal alien was in the back seat with the child, naked and groping her and molesting her. And the illegal alien told the police, I'm only back here to calm the child down because she's crying so much. Now,
I don't even want to know anymore. I can't. I can't even more. I can't.
Look it up, Atlanta.
I will. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. You got it. Yeah. And again, back to the Bob Duff thing. That was their biggest concern. They're going to catch the illegals. That's all they cared about. Now you're upset about it. Now it's, let's rethink it. Now let's rethink it. Yeah. You need to go to New Haven, Connecticut to eat pizza at Pepe's. Sally's people come from everywhere to eat there. I will go down there. Somebody said to me the other day that it's not franchised. The young lady at the restaurant I went to in Waterbury said it wasn't either. But she said that it is this, I guess it's the same recipe. I don't know how it works. You have to forgive me. But yeah, I know everybody says that I should go down there. Maybe my pizza when I grew up was different. I think New York style is a little different than New England style. That's what I think it is. Not that I'm ragging on New England style. It's just different when I have pizza. I eat pizza here and I just go, it looks like pizza, but it's not like the pizza that I eat. Well, I ate, I should say, when I was a kid. After all, it was a pandemic and the unvaccinated. That's right. That's whose fault it was. You're right, Peter. I don't know. Maybe I'll get to New Haven and try the pizza there. When we come back, what the New York Post called Mommy and Clyde. Did you hear this story about the the mother who was the getaway driver for her son, who was in the midst of committing a drive-by or a killing, a mob-style hit in Mount Vernon. We'll talk about that a little bit and wrap up the show. I can't believe it. This weekend, we actually don't have anything planned. Oh, I've got to finish editing episode 2 of Family Dinner with Reese and Roseanne. And Roseanne, who is supposed to be in here today, is probably going to be here tomorrow. She has a new show idea, and she's interested in. She's texted it to me, if you could believe that. She wants to do everything. We'll be back. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's here. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, good afternoon. If you're heading on the westbound side of 84, you're looking at delays now approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 45 Flatbush, 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 A and B. And again, some slow traffic as you move down between exit 17 and 15 on the Meriden-Wallingford line. Right now, we have the remains of a tractor-trailer accident taking out the right lane there, so stay to the left. If you are heading on the westbound side of Route 2, slowing by exit 4 in Glastonbury, again 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 291 westbound running slow, exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge in South Windsor in that construction. 84 eastbound Waterbury, delays approaching 17 up to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 Cheshire, sluggish stop and go from the 691 interchange right up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Northbound Parkway, you're looking at delays now as you move up from exit 46 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound delays 46 down to 44 in New Haven, and southbound on the Parkway, look out for an accident down in Hamden, down by exit 53, backing you up there. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy for the rest of today, but the story is the heat and the humidity as we've made it to the 90s across much of the area. But the story continues with showers and thunderstorms mixing in right through this evening. Watch out for those. Then we're partly cloudy tonight as we hit a low of 73. Tomorrow, still very humid, sun and clouds for us, a high of 89 degrees. But yet again, we have the chance for thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. These storms can bring heavy rainfall that could lead to flooding downpours as well as locally damaging wind gusts. They'll die down tomorrow night, and then it becomes partly cloudy, still sticky with a low of 73. Saturday starts our weekend with some sunshine. And then watch out, there's still some afternoon thunderstorms, 1 or 2 of them in a spot, as we hit a high of 89 degrees. Sunday, we'll finish our weekend mostly sunny and hot with a high near 90. On Monday, we're partly sunny, still very warm and humid, and those thunderstorms, they still have a chance to be out there with a high of 89. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
5 o'clock, Hartford temperature 90 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Connecticut Children's in Hartford has reached an agreement with the Justice Department and will no longer provide gender-affirming care to minors. The agreement this week includes a commitment from the hospital that it will not provide puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones to children and adolescents. In addition, the DOJ says the agreement calls for Connecticut Children's to pay $500,000 to what it calls those former patients, quote, living with the harmful consequences of gender-affirming care. It follows similar agreements with Texas Children's Hospital and the Cleveland Clinic Foundation. The White House is disputing reports that the war in Iran is leading to a shortage of air defense missiles. ABC News contributor and former Deputy Assistant Defense Secretary Mick Mulroy.
Sorry, if the reports are correct, we have some like the THAAD that are down 80%, and that is significant in that not just our forces rely on these for defensive purposes, but so do our allies and partners in the region.
In the meantime, the Pentagon says a technical error led to a change in how it was classifying casualties in Iran. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth, herself a combat veteran, is introducing a bill to prohibit these changes. She says the facts are important.
There is different statuses for how our service members are treated
for their wounds and compensated if they are wounded or killed in a combat operation as opposed to a non-combat injury or death.
Two Republicans are competing for their party's nomination to face incumbent Democrat Jim Himes in Connecticut's 4th Congressional District, primarily in Fairfield County. We get the story from WTIC's Dave Mager.
Noting that party-endorsed Dr. Michael Goldstein has run for the seat twice and lost, his opponent, 37-year-old youth hockey coach Dan Moresi, says state Republicans need a wake-up call.
We need to get off the golf course and stop doing these Lincoln Reagan dinners with cold chickens and congratulating ourselves because we're losing.
Moresi is a conservative who believes in applying a regressive flat tax, and he's a Trump supporter but says he won't be a rubber stamp for the president. His target is Congressman Himes, seeking his 10th term.
Jim Himes has been your congressman for 20 years, and has your life gotten better? And I think that answer is no. The only people's lives who have gotten better since Jim Himes has been elected are the rich.
Goldstein didn't respond to an interview request from WTIC News. Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Early voting will continue through Sunday. Primary day is next Tuesday. Man is dead after he was shot Wednesday night in Hartford. Little after 10, officers were dispatched to an area near 169 North Canaan Street to investigate a ShotSpotter activation there. The victim, 20-year-old Richard Williams, was found unresponsive in a vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds. Williams was pronounced dead at the scene. The investigation's ongoing. Anyone with any information is being asked to contact Hartford PD. Senate Homeland Security Committee has voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. This after he took the fifth over 100 times in an appearance before the committee last week to discuss the COVID response.
The normal process is it would then send that resolution to the Senate for a full Senate vote, but that would require a 60-vote threshold to clear, and Chairman Paul knows that is very unlikely to get out of the Senate. It would require Democratic votes, and so what he's mused about possibly doing is just forwarding this contempt resolution right on to the Department of Justice, circumventing that Senate vote.
That's correspondent Jay O'Brien reporting. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Beckers will make their World Cup debuts as members of the U.S. women's national team next month. Trio will try and help the U.S. win its fifth consecutive FIBA World Cup title. The young stars will be joined by Olympic medalists Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and Navisa Collier, among others. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 464 points today. The NASDAQ lost 15. S&P was down 13. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission, $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Hey, all right, you know the time. News. Happy birthday goes to Eric Roberts, the bassist for Gym Class Heroes. He turns 42. Leslie Odom, the singer known for the Broadway show and off-Broadway show Hamilton, turns 45. Randy DeBarge, the bassist for and singer of the group DeBarge, to the beat of the rhythm of the night, just in case you're trying to figure out who that was. He turns 68. Vinnie Vincent, former guitarist for Kiss. Happy birthday to him. He turns 74. And although I hated this group, I have always loved this woman, Jerry Halliwell, Ginger Spice of the Spice Girls, turns 54. In 1965, the Beatles released their fifth studio album, Help, in the UK. In 1981, Stevie Nicks released their debut solo album called Belladonna. In 1988, Guns N' Roses' debut album Appetite for Destruction reached number 1 on the Billboard 200 after 57 weeks on the chart. It hadn't reached number 1 until then. In 1996, this was a sad day because I remember it, the Ramones performed their final concert at the Palace in Hollywood, California. And another sad day in history, in 2004, on this day, funk pioneer and super freak singer, and cocaine is a hell of a drug, icon Rick James died at the age of 56. That's right. That's your music news. Mark Christopher's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
There's your band.
Is that the Spice Girls?
Yes, it is.
Everybody always says, like, Reese likes the Spice Girls. I never liked the Spice Girls.
You like Jerry, though.
I just like Jerry Halliwell.
All right.
I just love those tall boots she used to wear. And she's a redhead.
What's not to like about the
Exactly.
tall boots?
What's wrong with you? Exactly. What's wrong with you?
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, you're on the eastbound side of I-84. You're looking at delays now from exit 40, about a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is tied up East Hartford, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 91 southbound delays Hartford 33 down to 32 A and B. Again, slowing down by exit 28. And you'll see some more delays now on the Meriden-Wallingford line, 91 southbound between 17 and 15. The remains of a tractor-trailer accident. Right lane shut down there. Stay to the left. Now, if you are traveling on the westbound side of Route 2, look for delays 1D up to the 84 West merge. 291 westbound's tight from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge in South Windsor with the ongoing road work there. 9 southbound delays, Cromwell Middletown line down to the Aragoni Bridge. If you're heading 84 eastbound into Waterbury, delays approaching 17 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 tied up from the 691 interchange, sluggish right up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. And if you're traveling southbound on the Wilbur-Cross Parkway, look for delays from exit 51 down to 50 in Hamden, and northbound on the Parkway slowing approaching 46 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We are still holding on to a hot and humid pattern here across the area. Not much through the way of showers and thunderstorms, so there are some thunderstorms in the Hudson Valley in New York State. Going through tonight, there still could be an evening thunderstorm, but it's a low of 73 under a partly cloudy sky. Sticky out there heading into tomorrow, where we are humid. Sun and clouds, a high of 89 degrees. We will have showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon, and the thunderstorms can linger into the evening with damaging wind potential as well as heavy rainfall that could lead to some localized flooding. Going into tomorrow night, a low of 73, still humid right into Saturday, where we've got sunshine out there, but there's still a chance of an afternoon thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots. A high of 89. Sunday should be mostly sunny, hot, a high near 90. It's probably our dry day for us. And then we go into Monday, where we're partly sunny, very warm, a high of 89. An afternoon thunderstorm can't be ruled out then. Right now, it's 91 in Farmington, 89 in South Windsor, and 91 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constancer in the WTIC Weather Center.
Summer's here, and so are new beverages at McDonald's, like the Sprite Berry Blast Crafted Soda, topped with foam, or the Refresher with add-ons like Popping Boba.
The Yard Goats are back home Tuesday, August 11th for 2 weeks, and the Yankees affiliate is coming to town. Kids jersey giveaway, adult jersey giveaway, hat giveaway, Chase and Marshall from Paw Patrol, fireworks, kids run the bases, and more. Don't miss your chance to see the Yard Goats before the summer is over. Tickets start at just $10. Get yours today at yardgoatsbaseball.com.
Brian Jackman here for CertaPro Painters. You know, I have a really high bar for people working on my home, and that's why I am so proud to talk about CertaPro Painters. First of all, the process is worry-free. They give you this free estimate. They come in, they communicate with you, they're professional, and I'm not just talking with the communication, I'm talking with the actual painting. They got our kitchen done so well, and that's why I'm telling you, you should give it a try. If you have any work needed, either inside or outside your house, they have over 70,000 5-star reviews. That's CertaPro with a C. CertaPro.com to book your free estimate.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or biglou.com.
From politics to news to music to movies and anything above the sun and outer space and beyond, it's Reese on the radio. Damn, he's good. Only on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio here. You know what? Let me get to the phones real quick. Let's go to Pete in Northford. Hello, Pete. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, Reese. Reese, I'm listening to this ad that's running for Josh Elliott.
Okay.
And I crack up because he's telling us now that it's time for a change here in the state. Right? Time for a change. So
I know where you're going.
So given the fact that the Democrats have been running the state of Connecticut for the last 40 years, Elliott's answer is, we're going to take you even further left, and we're going to institute policies that have absolutely zero evidence of working anywhere in the history of the world.
It's as if he doesn't know what the word change means.
It's like, are you sure? How insultingly stupid does he think the voters here are? And before you answer that, he must think we're really stupid because we keep voting for the Democrats.
Yeah.
So on top of it, hey, you're not stupid enough? Vote for me.
Yes.
We're going to go even further left.
This is the part. Thank you so much for bringing this up, Pete. This is the part I keep trying to explain to conservatives, or I don't want to call them on the fence conservatives, because they're conservatives, but they're on the fence of believing that Democrats are tired of this. You know what I mean? It's like they think there's like they have to be, right? And they're on the fence about whether or not it's true. Look, Josh Elliott, I said it, between the two of these guys, they were going to pretend, at least the Lamont campaign was going to pretend that they were not becoming more progressive. And then he comes out and stands in front of Walmart and he says, and I quote, that we have to get rid of corporate welfare and we have to have large businesses pay their own share. A guy who spent 2 terms driving businesses out of the state. Okay? Who has a very clear record in everything that's been produced in showing that this guy's been bad for business, and then went out there and went to the left of what's the name? I would even go so far as to say she went to the left of a Pete Buttigieg and went out there and started attacking the big box stores in his own community.
Well, it's again, it's insulting to most of your listeners, I'm sure, to hear this pablum being spread out there day in and day out. But here's a word of caution, all right? Now, it's a cautionary tale. Mm-hmm. We need to keep in mind exactly what happened in Virginia. Okay?
Yep.
Now, Spanberger in Virginia ran as a moderate. And I think this is exactly where Lamont is going with this. Okay, she ran as a moderate. She won overwhelmingly in Virginia. And within the first 100 days.
100 days? It was 7.
30 days, right? Within 30 days, there was like 50 new taxes and fees.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the devil you know and the devil you don't may not be the best choices for you, because the devil you know, which is Lamont, you can take this to the bank. If he wins, we're going to get the same treatment that the people in Virginia got when they elected Spanberger.
You're preaching my gospel, Pete, because that's what I said, right? Giving this guy a third term after these two would be a permission slip to go ham on this state. Because he's got, again, he's not going to go for a fourth one. Every one of his ridiculous pipe dreams would be, in essence, it would be a blank check of liberalism.
Well, this is like the Animal House state.
Yeah.
Okay, the Animal House state. Thank you, sir. May I have
another? Yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, that's why I really do believe that there's no way Democrats are saying, I'm going to get this guy one last chance to drive all the business out. Like everything, to give every freebie possible. Oh, can I go one step further? This is important. Can I quote the governor in his own words to you, Pete? He said this on Brian and Company today, and I'd like to play it for you. This is what he said when he was asked. Let me see if I can get this quote real quick. Brian and Company, is that it right there? Yeah. He said, he said this.
I'll tell you, as governor, everybody has a legitimate point of view. You know, maybe in campaigns you make a lot of promises you don't really mean, but...
You make a lot of in a campaign, you make a lot of promises you don't even mean. He said that out loud.
But is anybody surprised?
No.
Are we surprised at this?
No.
I mean, if you're surprised, once again, they're playing you for stupid, and you know what? Maybe you deserve it.
Yeah.
Because wake up.
Indeed, my friend. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
You got it. Morgan is on the line. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Reese, how are you?
I'm all right. What's up?
So I got a couple things. Following up about the political ads. Why? I don't know if do you watch any of the political ads here on TV lately?
I tried to get to all of them. Who in particular were you referencing?
Okay, so Josh Elliott with the cartoon ad where wealthy people pay 8%, middle income pay 3 times the amount. But
yes.
Even on the thing, it says it's 20%. So it's just, of course, they stretch the truth where it's not 3 times the amount. It's technically 2.5 times the amount, but 3 times sounds more drastic.
Of course.
Did you see the John Larson one with Chris Murphy?
Yes, of course I did. That one's it's actually kind of snazzy, but the only thing that ruins it is Chris Murphy.
Yeah, why is there a camera on his crotch?
I don't know.
What is that? Like I get it. Like I get the direction they're going, and I agree with you is that it's not a terrible ad, but it's like, why is the first camera on his crotch? Like, it doesn't make sense.
You're so right. It's the only reason why I can't talk about it in radio, because you need the visual, right? And nobody wants the visual. That's the whole point.
The other one is Luke Bronin's new one where he's actually talking about things that he is going to attempt to do.
Is that the one where he's walking through his campaign headquarters and he's high-fiving a woman?
Yep, all the signs in the background are all his real things. So just keep an eye on those where it's all they're hidden eggs.
Yeah.
Of what he's actually trying to do without saying it, directed to the camera.
Yeah.
I just want to put something in front of you. So this whole socialist thing, defund police, defund ICE, no Senate. Just putting it in there for you. Just at I don't know if you ever want to hear about it, but no one actually ever says what they're going to try to do this.
Right.
And so I don't know if you're ever looking to give someone the time of day. There's a couple people that I saw that are on either other radio shows or on Fox, for example, and whoever interviews them just consistently cuts them off when they're trying to talk.
Right.
So I just wanted to put it there for you. Just I get what they're trying to say. I get why people are voting for them, but there's never, it's all gotcha stuff. There's never an avenue of what do you expect to do when you defund the police? How do you expect the repercussions to go, and how would you go about defunding the police? Obviously I don't agree with that, but it just,
I do. I'll be honest with you, Morgan, if I may go so far, and I would love to talk to one of these folks, there's a part of me that really has no interest because I already know what they're planning to do. But I would tell you this, and any one of them would probably agree with me. So I don't want to say that what they want is a utopia, but what they do want is something that could never happen, and that is to diminish want or desire. And here's their idea. So imagine a world where everyone has the same thing. So it would immediately eliminate the desire to have more of what everyone already has. See, these guys, I love that line, the thing I saw online when the guy says, there are two type of people in this world. I would look in your cup to see if you have enough, and you would look at mine to see if I have more. And that's the way these people operate. What they want to make sure is that everyone has the equal amount of the minimum so that there is no desire to want more. Because if there is no more to have, right, we eliminate BMWs and Mercedes, and everybody gets a Yugo, or you know what I mean, to use a crude comparison, right? So if everybody just has a mid-sized car, there's no need for you to want the Jaguar or any of those things because they're no longer allowed to exist. Flat screen TVs, everybody gets a 50-inch. You're not going to want another 50-inch because everybody gets one. So if that's how they believe in eliminating that desire. And in that, there'll be no need for theft and therefore no need for police.
Yes, yeah, I get that. Yes, I get that avenue. It's always like one of those things where, like during Trump's first term, where he was up against the wall the whole time, and he was still trying to push things through. He was still fighting for, the common person, where the House and the Senate were not working with him at all. Like, that's why. I mean, I understand the direction they're trying to go. It just doesn't make sense, and it was just more of like the thing of like, I understand you want to defund police, or Josh Elliott said that he doesn't want to grow the police. He's like okay with where the police are.
Oh no, he flat out said, I told you, I'll never forget that because I ragged on him until he came on Brian's show the next day after I ripped on him, and he said he wants to see a world where there is no need for police.
Oh. Okay.
He did.
Right.
And the reason why, again, I'm telling you, this is, again, I use the term utopia loosely. They really do believe that if everybody has the basic needs that they want, they won't have a desire for other stuff.
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's very, kind of delusional, but yeah.
It is. And I think they will socially engineer these people who will just go, well, I don't want what he has because he has the same thing that I have. So as soon as if everybody has a fur coat, nobody wants one.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So.
No, I completely understand. The other thing is that congratulations on your video.
Oh.
David the Gnome telling Dolomite that his people can't vote is a great video.
What about who?
David the Gnome, Ned Lamont.
Oh, yeah.
Telling Dolomite
that
his people can't vote.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just got the reference. My bad. Thanks, man.
No problem. I mean, we're a little older, so I thought you get the
I totally know because I was trying to like, what is it, Dolomite? Oh, and I had to go back. Dolomite's a really, really sketchy time for me. I had to watch it for work once, so I forgot a lot of the stuff that I used to remember.
I mean, I always think that sometimes when you go to the political events, that some of the older Caucasian people there, like, where you are, it's like, where Dolomite at? And then, of course, if you remember the movie, he's breathing down your neck,
I get it. Thank you. You know what? I like that now. I like that. I think I'm going to show up with an afro now.
Have a great day.
You got it, boss. Yeah, I might just do that. We have some theme music when I walk in, too. That'll be hot. That'll be a lot of fun. Michael A. says, greed will never go away. It's our human nature. Yes. Sure, we would love for people to not want other people's stuff or to have enough. I was always fascinated by that. When Barack Obama gave that famous speech talking about at some point, you have enough money. And I remember getting into so many debates with people like that. It was like, well, wait, you find something wrong with that? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, why? It was like, you don't think there's a point where you can have enough money? And I'm just like, you shouldn't be allowed to tell me how much money I should have. And then their response to that was, I was like, well, it's not like you're going to be able to spend it all. And I said, yeah, that's the point. Like, so what if I want to have more than I can spend? So what? Like, what's the problem? It was like, you don't think that's greedy? Not if I earned it. What do you think? The only way I can have it is if I didn't? Is that what you're saying? Is there some point where I should stop earning? Right? Then you get to tell me, well, you made $4 billion. Stop now. No, on, live your life. I'm like, what? But I want to make more money. No. You've made the limit. Now go home and spend it. Give it to people. That's what these bozos do. They say it all the time. You need to give your money to charity. Why? Don't you want to be a good Christian? Shut up. Shut up. You're not a good person. You don't want to give away your riches. You're horrible. Do you have more than the guy down the street? Yes. Give him some of your stuff. Well, that's different. Yeah, because it's your stuff. We get how it works. If you have one fur, I want two. I don't know about all that. I don't even want a fur. I don't even want that. I'm a t-shirt and jeans guy. I can do that all day. Anyway, Mark Christopher's back. We'll get out of here in the next break. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. You know what? You want to make Mark happy? Give him a sweatshirt and a pair of shorts and some Asics sneakers. He loves, you like Asics, don't you?
You do? How did you know that?
Because that's all you ever wear. Don't think I'm very observant, sir.
Seriously, I would never would have, like I wouldn't, you know I'm always in shorts.
You're in sweats. You are literally the most casual person I know.
Yeah, but I mean, just to know the name brand of my sneakers, that's pretty sharp. That's
I pay very close attention to people.
Be aware of your surroundings, right?
That's right.
If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32. Again, down by exit 28. A little slow traffic, 19 to 18 in Meriden. Then we're dealing with the remains of a tractor-trailer accident. This is 91 southbound on the Meriden-Wallingford line. Bob's a tractor-trailer. Right lane is shut down there, so stay to the left to get around that a little bit easier. Westbound 84 into Hartford, slowing 56 Governor Street out to 46 Sisson Avenue. Eastbound 84 a little tight, 46 up into the downtown tunnel. 291 westbound slowing from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge in the construction area. If you're traveling to westbound, just a little slow as you merge to the 84 West and East Hartford. 9 southbound, you'll tap the brakes as you approach the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Heading into Waterbury, 84 eastbound delay 17 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 tied up from the 691 interchange, sluggish and stop and go right up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Southbound on the Parkway, look for delays from 63 in North Haven down into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 South New Haven slows 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've made it to the 90s across the area with lots of humidity and a few thunderstorms as we head through this evening. Then they die down, partly cloudy tonight with a low of 73. Tomorrow is still humid with sun and clouds, a high of 89. We'll have afternoon thunderstorms kicking around. They'll die down into tomorrow evening. And then Saturday is humid, some sunshine, a high of 89 with afternoon thunderstorms and a spot or two. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Connecticut Children's in Hartford says it has reached an agreement with the Justice Department to end gender-affirming care for minors. The DOJ made the announcement Wednesday in a press release. It says Connecticut Children's will also pay $500,000 to former patients it says are, quote, living with the harmful consequences of gender-affirming care. Hospital says it'll comply and continue to comply with state and federal laws as well. Hartford police continue their investigation into the city's latest homicide. Fatal shooting last night, North Canaan Street. That's where they went to check out a shot spotter notification and found 20-year-old Richard Williams in a vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police in Enfield spent most of the day at an area of Moody Road in town for an investigation. They still haven't said what they were looking into. Officials say there's no danger to the public. State police are charging a man from Thompson with embezzling tens of thousands of dollars from a local church. Troopers say 65-year-old Bruce Hall took over $33,000 from Thompson Congregational Church. They say the theft took place between April and September of last year. Hall is charged with larceny, and his bond was set at $150,000. An affidavit says Hall was involved in grant writing and fundraising for the church. Concerning, that's what Senate Majority Leader John Thune calls reports that U.S. munitions stockpiles are dwindling.
It's always a dangerous situation when we've got these debates about military funding get politicized. Unfortunately, that's what's happening this year.
And a teenager is dead after he was struck by a Metro North train in Norwalk Wednesday night. Train was headed to Norwalk from Danbury at the time of the accident around 8 p.m. The victim rushed to Norwalk Hospital, later pronounced dead. Police say there were a total of 3 people on the tracks at the time, 2 of whom were detained by police. None of the 25 passengers on board the train was injured. On Wall Street today, the Dow finished down 464 points. The Nasdaq lost 15, and the S&P dropped 13. Red Sox will finish their series against the White Sox at Fenway tonight. 6:10 is the pregame here. Yanks have the night off. Mets completed a sweep of the Guardians 13-6 this afternoon. And in the Eastern League, the Yard Goats are in Binghamton to face the Rumble Ponies. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Let's be real. With Trump in the White House, times have been tough. But in Connecticut, thankfully, we've had a governor who put his foot down and protected us from the chaos. When Donald Trump cut health coverage, Lamont capped insulin costs, canceled medical debt for working people, and restored the health care funding our families depend on. Now he's working towards universal health care. While ICE creates chaos nationwide, Governor Lamont's passed laws banning ICE from our schools and places of worship.
ICE, go home. We're keeping Connecticut safe without you.
And as Trump cut taxes for billionaires, Governor Lamont's cutting taxes for the middle class, with new plans to make sure big corporations paid their fair share.
And we're trying to make life a little less expensive for working families in the middle class.
With Trump in the White House, we need a governor with the experience and the backbone to fight back. That's Ned Lamont.
I'm Ned Lamont, candidate for governor, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ned for CT. Approved by Ned Lamont.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
All right, Reese on the radio. Folks, if you missed the opening monologue, you can always do that by downloading the Odyssey app or going to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. For those of you who did miss it, Reese on the Radio revealed to you today in the opening monologue that Stephanie Thomas, the Secretary of the State, Dan Haar, was lying to you, folks, lying to you, when she released this statement on her official Facebook page.
Good evening. An innocent New Britain, Connecticut woman, innocent, has been receiving death threats after being identified as an undocumented immigrant connected to a fatal crash and being accused of illegally registering to vote. Now, were these allegations made after a thorough review of the case by investigators, by a court of law? No. It was a Facebook post. You heard me, a Facebook post.
Stephanie Thomas, the Secretary of the State, is flat out lying. The innocent woman, as she refers to her, Melissa Ramirez of New Britain, never, ever stated that she was receiving death threats. After speaking to an officer that went to visit her on the 4th of August in New Britain, says where we were able to make contact with Melissa, who was positively identified via her Connecticut driver's license. Melissa stated that she has not been receiving any death threats nor being harassed. Melissa stated that she had spoken to some media and told them she was being harassed by journalists who kept calling. Melissa stated that she feels safe and was advised to contact the New Britain Police Department if she does begin receiving any threats, therefore countering the claim of the Secretary of State, who said,
Good evening. An innocent New Britain, Connecticut woman, innocent, has been receiving death threats after being identified as an undocumented immigrant connected to a fatal crash and being accused of illegally registering to vote.
Now the question remains, will anyone in the media question the Secretary of the State, Stephanie Thomas, about why she would lie about a case that garnered so much attention from so many people? She owes an answer to you all. She got on that Facebook post or that Facebook account and did exactly that. She lied to you, and she must be held accountable for it. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center, getting you home, and we'll wrap the show up. If you want to call, 860-522-WTIC. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're 84 eastbound, delays 46 Sisson Avenue down into the tunnel. Westbound 84 tied up. Approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Southbound 91's a little tight, 27 down to 28. And again, some slow traffic in Meriden, 19 to 17. And we're dealing with the remains of a tractor-trailer accident. Meriden, Wallingford line, 91 southbound between 17 and 15. The right lane is out there. Stay left. If you are traveling Route 2 westbound, just a little slow as you merge with 84 West and East Hartford. 291 westbound slowing in South Windsor exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge and the road work there. 84 eastbound Waterbury tight approaching 17 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 sluggish stop and go. 691 interchange in Cheshire right up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. And if you're traveling southbound on the Wilbur Cross Parkway, look for slow traffic now 51 in Hamden down into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, so far, still pretty quiet across the area. We've seen most of the moisture leave, but there are some thunderstorms to the west through the Hudson Valley. A lot of that will start to weaken as it pushes towards us. Tonight could be a thunderstorm this evening and a few spots from that, but overall it's going to be humid with a low of 73 and partly cloudy. Going into tomorrow, we stay humid, and sun and clouds will lead us to 89 for the afternoon high. A couple of showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon and evening hours. The thunderstorms can bring heavy rainfall that could lead to localized flooding, plus damaging wind gusts. Going into tomorrow night, after the thunderstorms die down, we hit a low of 73, and Saturday is humid to start off our weekend. Some sunshine, a high of 89. An afternoon thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots. We get into Sunday. This should be our largely dry day, mostly sunny, still hot, a high of 90 degrees, maybe just a touch less humid. Monday, we're partly sunny, very warm. An afternoon thunderstorm can't be ruled out, though, with a high of 89. Right now, it's 88 in Cromwell, 88 in Bristol, and 91 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Melissa Constanzer in the WTIC Weather Center.
For all station contest rules, go to WTIC.com and click contests. That's WTIC.com and click contests.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and at NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Reese on the radio, and August 14th is my birthday, and I want to spend it with you. So we're taking the show on the road for a special birthday broadcast. We'll be broadcasting live from Stadium 15 in Farmington, Connecticut from 2 to 6. Maybe there'll be an after party. Who knows? So make plans to hang out, listen to the show, have some food, some drinks, and help me celebrate my birthday. It's the 14th at 15. Stadium 15 in Farmington from 2 to 6 on Friday, August the 14th. Hope to see you there.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Before I get out of here, can I play this thing? This is Adam 12 just sent this to me. And this was important on the whole Stephanie Thomas thing. You know, when she said the infamous...
Good evening. An innocent New Britain, Connecticut woman, innocent, has been receiving death threats after being identified as an undocumented immigrant connected to a fatal crash and being accused of illegally registering to vote.
Now, again, the reason why they are using the term death threats as this woman is being confused and not blaming the people who are responsible. The Danbury Police Department put this driver's license info in their affidavit. It was in their report on the night or morning of the crash, July 13th, and remained there until the charging document and the warrant that was issued had all of that information that is verifiably documented to be true. And it is because that media outlets found that information, made it available to them, in doing their due diligence to find out more about the illegal in the state who had killed a police officer and a mother of 3, not leaving it to just being that story. It just come off the information that we received about a restaurateur who was also in the country for 30 years, who was on the voter rolls. Everyone is just doing, hey, let's see if there's anybody else on there. Through no fault of anyone in the news media, through the fault of the Danbury Police Department, who made that driver's license available, the Connecticut Sentinel followed up, and they found these 2 women, weirdly enough, have 3 of the same names and the same birth date. The chances, who knows? But here's an interesting thing, and I just want you to hear it directly from the Connecticut Insider's own Dan Hart. Listen closely.
Who would guess that in the small state of Connecticut, there would be 2 people, both named Melissa Ramirez, both born on the exact same day in July of 1999?
Nobody would have, Dan. That's the reason why we were confused.
Well, the one who lives in Stamford was involved tragically in a crash that led to the death of an off-duty Bridgeport cop and his girlfriend at 3 a.m. on July 13th. And she was charged with manslaughter and driving under the influence. This got ugly quickly this week when Homeland Security announced that she was on a list of people that should be deported.
That's a fact. And she should be deported. In fact, had she not been here illegally, Officer Whiteside and Brittany Islami would be alive today, and her children would have their mother.
And it got even uglier when conservative social media sites put the two women together.
Now, is that true? No. So that's misinformation spread by Dan Haar. He should correct it.
And concluded falsely that the Melissa in Stanford had illegally voted as a non-citizen when in fact they were looking at the voting records of the Melissa Ramirez in New Britain.
They didn't conclude falsely. They were led down that road due to the Danbury Police Department.
I spoke to the Melissa Ramirez in New Britain, who was very nice and said, of course, she was stressed out and was scared by this.
Stressed out and scared? Well, Dan, that's not true. Melissa told the police department, and I quote, she was not receiving any death threats and stated that she had spoken to some media and that she feels safe.
So the howling about, quote, illegal aliens corrupting our voting systems and our elections continued for a couple of days until Danbury issued a statement saying, knock it off, this is a mistake.
Their mistake. They still have not said it's their mistake.
Danbury, however, in the warrant had, as a result of the driver license check, run the New Britain address, which led in large part to the confusion in the first place.
He stated after he condemned anyone who got that information wrong and ran with it. You should lead with the start. Good journalists know better.
Bottom line, there is room for discourse in this national culture war. No, elections are not corrupted by massive illegal voting.
How do you know that? How would you know? Where's your evidence that it isn't? It clearly isn't evidence you found here in the state of Connecticut, unless, of course, the Secretary of State is giving you access to the voter rolls we can't see. Did you get to see them, Dan? We'd like to know.
That's nonsense. But of course, there are some fixes to the system that can and should happen. It is, however, hard to be optimistic in this environment that reasonable discourse is going to happen.
I just wanted you to hear that. To the phones we go. Stan's in New Britain. How are you, sir?
Very good, Reese. I just want to, I'll make this very quick. I'm very anxious to meet you next week. I will be there at your party.
All right.
Okay, and I just want to let you know that about the vaccine. We had a doctor on here for a number of years who was really promoting it and knocking down President Trump and knocking down Robert Kennedy. His name is Dr. Alessi. He was on Saturdays between 11 and 12. I would very, very much encourage you and very anxious to hear
Dr. Alessi? Dr. Alessi is his name?
Yes.
Is he
yes.
somebody? Does he do guest appearances on television shows or radio shows?
No, but he has his own podcast. He goes a lot. He goes many times to the boxing matches to watch out for concussions. So he's very well known. But I would love
is he one
to
of the
hear
people?
His opinion.
Is he a big CTE guy? Is he all about that, like concussions in professional sports?
From what I heard from Saturday afternoons between 11 and 12, I would say yes. He retired about 6 months to 12 months ago. So I don't know how hard it would be to find him. But
it shouldn't be that hard to find him.
DrAlessi.com.
It's okay. And you said Alessi. If I'm spelling this correctly, or correct me if I'm wrong, Alessia?
I believe it's E-L.
Oh, E-L. Okay, one second.
Yeah, Alessi. I'm not really sure the proper spelling, but I'm pretty sure it's E-L-A-S-Y.
E-L. Hold on. What am I doing here?
I'm sure all the listeners for WTIC will probably
recognize him
and set you straight.
Okay, yeah. So guys, if you're familiar with Dr. Alessi and I'm spelling it right, they'll probably let me know. They said between rounds on Saturday on WTIC on Saturday. Okay, so I guess he's been on that program. Okay,
He's been on that program for a number of years. I've been listening to him for at least 8 years. I would, just figuratively speaking, but I know he was very, very vocal on the coronavirus, and everybody should be taking it, and don't listen to people that are anti-vaxxers, and And I tell you, I think the radio station will blow up if you put them on there.
I definitely will. Thank you so much, Stan. Thank you for calling.
Thank you very much. I'll see you next week.
You got it, sir. Nikki's calling from Hartford. Hello, Nikki. That was my first girlfriend's name when I was a kid.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
It's time that I speak out. I was a challenger during the 2020 election.
A challenger?
I tried to report voter problems at a poll. And I went to my mayor, who almost had me arrested.
Which mayor? Which mayor?
I got home, she's no longer running for our governor. Let's leave it at that.
Oh, no. Really?
Oh, yeah. When I got home, there was red and blue in my parking lot waiting for me.
No way. Stop it, Nikki.
I was told by a certain registration office that Connecticut will never change. It is too much empowered by a certain party. They, at the elections, they were allowed to come in with any type of a bill, like your electric bill or a gas bill.
Yeah.
And sign up right there at the poll.
Yeah.
With no ID, no nothing, just to register. You can register and vote right away. Not even a citizenship check, no nothing.
Yeah, I heard. Listen, even Larry Kudlow, he said it.
To vote.
He said it right in front of the president of the United States. He said you could walk in with a credit card and a debit card and use it as identification.
Right, you didn't even have to have identification. All you needed was something that had
your name on it.
On a bill.
Yeah.
A bill, like an electric bill or a gas bill out of anybody's. Now, what the problem is that the registrations, all the voter registration need to be wiped clean and started over again. Because when you move from, let's say, New Britain to Hartford and then Hartford to Wethersfield, it doesn't change. They don't eliminate that off of the register. Your name is still on there. So now you're at 3 different spots, registers. And when you go and they have these early voting or these mail-in ballots, you're registered at 3 different places, but you're only going to one spot.
Yeah.
You're going to one spot. Those other 2 places,
that's weird because every place I've ever voted, they told me exactly where my polling place was. Like, we're talking the building, not in a region. Like, I knew the building I had to go to.
Right, the building.
Yeah, it's like they would tell you. It's like, this is your polling place. You can't go anywhere else.
Right, because the other ones are already, your name is being used somewhere else. People were going to register and were going to vote, and they said, oh, no, you can't vote because you've already voted.
Yeah, no, I heard a lot of that one, Nikki. I've heard a lot of that one.
All of these people that are running for these governor's offices right now, you know, Shea and everybody, I'm sorry. You're not going to win. You can.
No. We're not putting that in anybody's head.
No, I don't care. I don't care. I was already told.
Nikki,
Connecticut will not change. Wake up.
We will.
Wake up, people.
We're going to fight against that, Nikki. Thank you, though.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Good luck.
All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate the good luck, though. I appreciate it at least. Okay, Dan, I'll give you a minute before we get out of here. What do you got, buddy?
This is real quick. From yesterday's deal, when you had Tim on, would you please get your producer to pull up Meghan Trainor's Your Lips Are Moving and You Lie, Baby? While he's cut in on him and just play that once in a while. Please do that.
You want me to cut in and play it on whom? On Lamont?
Tim.
Oh, on Tim. Oh, absolutely. You know what? I will definitely look it up, without a doubt.
And then the other one was, when anybody starts talking about transgenderism, blah, 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 please get him to pull up the Mr. Rogers deal where he sang the song. Boys are born a boy, and they stay a boy. Girls are born girls, and they stay a girl.
You know what? I'm surprised Mr. Rogers hasn't been canceled for that song.
I think didn't Mr. Rogers pass away?
No, but you can still cancel him. You can mean the woke? They'll cancel dead people.
That's true. But it's just the funniest. Like, but the Meghan Trainor one.
Yeah.
It's like I could just hit it with your lips are moving. Your lips are moving. It'd be like when you have to put them on like the brief little hold.
The hold. No, you listen to me. That is a brilliant idea. I got you covered. I promise, Dan.
And that'll play him out once in a while.
Thank you, buddy. You have a good one.
We'll catch you.
You got it. All right, I got to go, unfortunately, guys. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody, but you know the drill. Daniel said, we're down, but we're not out. You damn right we're not out. We are not out. And somebody gave me the correct spelling of Dr. Etsy, or at least I think it is. See if we can find him, Adam 12. See if we can find out a way to get in touch with him. We'll be happy to bring him on, without a doubt. Time to go. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. You have a good night, pleasant tomorrow. Don't forget, check me out on the social media at Facebook or at X. I'm going to post a video today about Stephanie Thomas. Like it, share it, get it everywhere. Mark Christopher, he's getting you home. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Nikki wasn't there.
What happened to Nikki Reese? What happened to her?
She said it's over. It's over.
Wow.
Thank you for a funky time. Call me whenever you want to grind.
And she never called.
Ow!
Never called you. Sorry, Reese.
That's all right.
Have a great night. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, slowing 46 Sisson Avenue to the Bulkley Bridge. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge in East Hartford out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Southbound 90 was a little slow at 32 A and B in Hartford. Again, a little tight as you move down.